We see the MC say that his childhood friend kept bullying him to the point where he was sent to the hospital from the stress. We see that the childhood friend is Kisaragi Hanabi, who is telling the MC that he is really useless, that he is a huge failure as a boyfriend, and that she won't break up with him because she is so kind. But the MC says that they should break up, which shocks Hanabi. Now we see the past of the MC where he is playing in the sand, and Hanabi comes behind him and asks if he is making an elephant, which startles him. He says yes. Hanabi grins and says that the MC always twitches like that, and it is so weird, and everyone also thinks the same. She continues and says that she is so kind, and will still play with the MC though. The MC questions if he is weird, and thanks Hanabi. The MC is telling us that even with all those insults, he didn't fight back, and just took them. Even when he felt it was too much, he only held it in, and Hanabi kept hurling insults at him and using him like a sandbag. He continues and says that even when she forced him to be her boyfriend during junior high, she didn't change at all and only got worse. We see that Hanabi is calling him the worst and inconsiderate because he texted her 30 minutes late. The MC says that it only continued, and after they turned high schoolers, we see that on a rainy day, the MC gets a text from Hanabi saying that he should be at the Caesarea in front of the station. The MC is thinking to himself if her friends will be there again too, and that he feels like his stomach ache is getting worse. He thinks of telling her that he can't pick her up, but remembers how she will chew him up for hours later. Hanabi tells him to be there in 5 minutes, but the MC tells her that it's raining hard, to which she says that's why she is asking him to pick her up, and that he is fine with her getting rained on and picking up a cold, and how he is not considerate at all. We see the MC run in the rain with the umbrella, thinking that he will get drenched instead, but that doesn't matter, and that her mood will only get worse if he keeps her waiting and even cares about her, thinking that she is also scared of the dark after all. The MC sees Hanabi in the place eating. Hanabi tells him that he is taking too long and asks him to wait there for a bit. The MC stands in the rain, and we see that her friends are laughing at him and saying that he actually waited for an hour and saying that she won the bet. They make fun of him as Hanabi is laughing. The MC gets that they were betting on him and falls on his knees due to stomachache, as Hanabi says that she told those guys that the MC will do anything she says, and asks the MC if he will do anything she says. Right. The MC is on his knees, thinking that his stomach hurts so much that he can't breathe, and that he needs to get back home to take stomach medicine, and that he should have left her and gone back home. He thinks that he will die at this rate. Hello everyone, just a reminder to please hit like and subscribe to help me hit 10 subs. Thanks. Now back to the hospital, we see that Hanabi is asking him what he is even saying, to which the MC says that she often says how she wants to break up with him, so it should be fine, and that today will be the last day they date each other. Hanabi questions this and laughs, telling the MC that in the first place, he has no right to decide that, and after all, he can't even make the right decision. She asks him why he suddenly feels like he can get ahead of himself like this. She says that she doesn't get it, and it makes her feel so angry that she wants to kill him. She continues that someone like him doesn't have the right to dump someone like her, and other than her, she is sure that no one would want to get along with him. The MC says that even if that is true, it doesn't mean that he has to go out with her, and asks her if she isn't glad to be released from this useless boyfriend as he pushes her out of the room. Hanabi starts banging against the door and says that this is the part where he should be asking her for forgiveness, but a nurse comes by and asks her what she is doing and that this is a hospital. She tells her sorry and says that they got in a fight and that it is her fault for losing control. She says that she will leave for today and sorry for causing a ruckus. Hanabi walks away in anger, thinking that socialites with good looks are all villains. We see that the MC gets a text from Hanabi saying that she is getting annoyed now and that he can start apologizing now. We see Hanabi type furiously. She asks him if he knows how much she has been looking out for him, and that after all she has done for him, he did this to her and that he is worse than garbage, and that he has no friends, and without her he will be alone. The MC is silent. She continues that he is still reading the messages, and he's lame. But the MC just blocks her contact and says that her habit of interpreting everything as good for her own circumstances is as strong as ever. The MC gets up and looks at himself in the window and thinks about the time when Hanabi told him to take a look at his face, and that if she had a face like his, she would never show it, because people might bully her because of that. She calls the MC pitiful and says that it might be better to hide his face. The MC thinks that she has been feeding him stuff that only lowered his self-esteem every day, and thanks to that, he can't properly understand the worth of things around him. He tells himself that after he is out of the hospital, he will cut his hair. We see the MC getting a haircut and everything. The MC says that after this, his 13 years of relationship with Hanabi came to an end. We see the MC in school, where everyone is looking at him and saying, "Who is that hottie?" thinking that he is a transfer student and that he is so their type. The girls are saying that he has silky hair and just look, and geeking over his sharp eyelids. The MC is confused and looks at them, which makes the girls blush and flustered. We see a dude laugh and tell the MC that they were talking about him. The guy's name is Ibara Haruta. He tells the MC how has he not noticed that he looks good. The MC questions it and says that this is the first time someone said that to him. Haruta tells the MC that he has been hiding under his bangs after all, so no one was able to have a good look at his face. We see the girls being surprised that it was the MC and tell him that he looks completely different and that he looks way better without the bangs and that they never knew they had a hidden gem in the class as they are fawning over him. Haruta asks the MC why he decided to make his debut here, to which the MC says that it was just for a change. Haruta says that he thinks the MC looks better this way as the girls nod. The MC thanks them for the compliment and says that he is happy to hear that, which stuns the girls. Haruta thinks to himself that the MC still has a lot of things he needs to learn while laughing. The MC tells the class that if he makes the mood of the class bad, because he's been hiding inside his shell all this time, and apologizes and says that he wants to talk to them more and hopes that they all get along well. The entire class encourages him and says of course. We see the MC with his classmates going for lunch, and Haruta telling the MC that he didn't expect him to be someone who could converse normally like that, and that he could have hung out with him sooner. The MC says that he is sorry because it's his fault, that he always gave a gloomy feeling, and that he was so happy that he could talk to him. Haruta also says that the MC is really kind and good-looking, to which the MC replies that his looks and personality are just normal. Hearing this, the girls go crazy, and Haruta says that the MC is a national treasure and he can't just throw that smile of his willy-nilly. The MC questions it and laughs while telling him what the heck is he talking about. Seeing his smile, everyone starts blushing and saying so cute. We see that Hanabi is looking at him. The MC says that the face Hanabi is making means that she is really angry. He thinks that whether it's because he broke up with her, or because he has been ignoring her messages, or because of his haircut, either way, it's not his business any longer. The MC walks past her, but Hanabi asks the MC to wait, and the MC remembers the past where Hanabi is telling him that she is one of the hottest girls in the school, and that people would say that she is totally way out of his league, and it would cause an uproar if people knew they were dating each other, and asks him not to tell anyone about them. Haruta asks the MC if he knows who she is, but the MC says nope, and that he has never seen her and walks away. Hanabi gets very angry and says that he better remember this. Chapter 2. We see that the MC has math self-study. The MC thinks that he finished sooner than he thought, and that he has 15 minutes left. He thinks about what happened before with Hanabi and thinks that she must be super annoyed by this point, but he doesn't care anymore. The MC looks around, thinking about what he should do now with his spare time. He notices the girl sitting next to him pull out a book. She starts reading the book, and the MC looks at her. Suddenly, the wind blows, and the girl's bookmark flies and falls near the MC. The MC picks it up and gives it to the girl. The girl thanks the MC, and the MC tells her, "You're welcome," which shocks her. The MC asks her what happened, to which she says that this is the first time they have ever talked. This makes the MC think about his past, where Hanabi is telling the MC that there is no way he will ever get a girlfriend in his life and that he has 0 reasons for a girl to want to make him their boyfriend. In fact, she bets that he has reasons people don't want him. She continues and says that she is dating the MC out of sympathy, and makes it clear to him that she is dating him, and he is being dated by her, and asks him to notice how big the difference is. Hanabi suddenly gasps and says that no way he is thinking about talking to another girl all by himself, and tells him that he would only be troubling them, so he shouldn't even have the intention of trying it. She tells him that he is too pitiful to talk to anyone, and she is dating him. She also tells him that he has no one else but her for his entire life. The MC thinks to himself that he should not talk to anyone instead of getting scolded by Hanabi. Now in the present, The MC says that whether Hanabi was by his side or not, he avoided all the chances to talk to any girl. The MC tells the girl that he never tried to befriend anyone and tells her sorry if he made her uncomfortable, which makes the girl blush. The MC is confused and asks her if anything is wrong. She gets all flustered and says that nothing is wrong. She tells the MC that he has never made her uncomfortable, so he doesn't have to worry about it. The MC introduces himself and says that he hopes that they get along, to which the girl says, same here. The MC says that he already knew her name, which makes the girl say, really? And that she is happy to hear that. The MC is still looking at her and thinking that he made a conversation. She tells the MC that the moment he cut his hair, the whole class's attention focused on him, to which the MC replies that they will get bored of it soon, just like a rare animal. The girl questions it, laughs, and says that the MC is funny. The MC thinks to himself that this is nothing like talking to Hanabi. He says that he can be himself instead of acting all stiff, and that he was always anxious about whatever Hanabi might say, so he never even thought of asking her to let him be by himself. The MC thinks that he can't really call those conversations, and that it was more like a one-sided scolding from her. The girl tells the MC that she always wanted to talk to him, which makes the MC say, why? She says that he always changes the water in the flower vases, and that he waters the plants on the veranda after school, so she thought that he was a kind person. The MC says that he was just killing time, and it's not like he is kind or anything. The MC thinks that whenever he had to wait for Hanabi, he would go there because he had nothing to do. The MC thinks about how the girl told him that she wanted to speak to him since before, but that he was so gloomy back then. The girl tells the MC that today, so many girls made a huge fuss because of how handsome he is, and says that he'll become so popular from here on out. We see the MC enjoy his time after school by going to a bookstore, playing at arcades, and eating lunch on his own. The MC sits for lunch, and as he is eating his burger, he says that since he broke up with Hanabi, he doesn't have to message her anymore, and that she would always nag for hours if he forgot to text her. Thanks to that, his heart always skips a beat whenever his phone rings, and he says that fear will fade away with time because she will never have to send him any messages anymore. The MC thinks to himself that he should get home and gets on the train. In the train, the MC says that today was such a fulfilling day, and school and detours were fun. He thinks that being able to talk to Yukishiro and his classmates was a big thing for him, and that school might be more interesting than he had thought. He says that he always wanted to have nothing to do with everyone else, just like Hanabi had told him, but he can still manage to make a change, and that he should just make as many friends as he can. The MC says that he never had this thought ever since he started elementary school. As the MC is walking home, he notices that someone is standing there, and that person walks towards the MC. We now see that it's Hanabi, and she welcomes the MC. We see Hanabi tell the MC, well, didn't you take your time? And that she waited 2 whole hours just for him. She also says that she even taught him what to do when he feels like going for a detour, and what was he thinking by breaking the rule she set for him like that. The MC is silent and just walks past her, which makes her scream and say that she can't believe he is just ignoring her and going right past her. She blocks the MC's way, to which the MC asks, what? Hanabi asks him what he means by what, and that she stood there waiting just for him. The MC thinks to himself that Hanabi is always like this, and that she always says, I did it for you, or makes him say, I'm sorry I did that. Hanabi says that she is so angry at the MC's classmates, and that the lonely MC that she abandoned, she thought he knew how she did things, and how dare he get all friendly with his classmates like that. The MC thinks about his past when she wrote something like that to him. The MC asks her if she waited 2 hours to just tell him this gibberish, to which she screams and asks, gibberish? The MC says that he will make it clear one more time, and that he and her are strangers from now on, and that it's troubling if she does things like this. Hanabi asks him if he is seriously breaking up with her, to which he says, exactly. She tells the MC that he won't be able to live a normal life if he breaks up with her, to which the MC replies that he was in a sorry state when he was with her. Hanabi grabs his arm and says that the poor MC became so stupid just by fooling around for one day, and that's what's bad about him. She says that the people who approached him because of his looks alone are nothing but junk, and that he couldn't even see that. She asks him how he is even going to live without her, and that there's no one else who would tell him this. The MC thinks that his classmates that he spent a whole day with aren't what Hanabi tells, and that she has no control over who he hangs out with because it's over between them after all. Hanabi continues and says that someone as incapable as him always needs someone to point the direction and asks him to apologize already. She continues and says that even though he is a dense airhead, it made her a bit mad back there. She is pretty used to it already, and that she learned that she must always have a great heart in order to forgive him, and tells him that he should still make sure to properly apologize to her. The MC is silent and then says that he can't do that, and the thought of refusal just keeps getting stronger and stronger. He says that he doesn't need her in his life. Hanabi starts laughing and says that she is pissed and that it's her who wants to dump a dense airhead like him, to which the MC says that they have already broken up, so that can't be possible now. She says that she doesn't approve of that. The MC pushes her aside and says that she was the one who always wanted to break up, and that he's had enough of this, and tells her to go away. Hanabi tells the MC that she's really angry as the MC walks away. Hanabi runs away. The MC thinks that she accepted the fact that they broke up, so he thinks that it's settled for now. The MC says that a few days passed since he last talked to Hanabi at that park, and that his life has been unbelievably peaceful since then, and that he only sees her after school at most. He says that it's not like he pays attention to her, but she keeps appearing in front of him for no reason. He thinks that at least she isn't talking to him anymore, and says that what grabs his attention is that she would always make him wait in front of her house for 30 minutes for the most random reasons. But right now, Hanabi got to the station earlier than him, so she can get to the station early, and this makes the MC think if she made him wait on purpose before. The MC notices Hanabi with a guy and thinks that the guy is a year 2 like him, and he's the baseball club's ace. We see Hanabi and Taichi talk all lovey-dovey to each other. Hanabi asks Taichi how much he loves her, to which he says that he loves her the most, which makes Hanabi say that it sounds like he is comparing her with someone else, and acts all lovey-dovey. She tells Taichi that she will cast a magic spell on him that will make him think only of her and no one else. This makes Taichi say that she is way too cute, and that he will look at no one else but her for the rest of his life. The MC thinks that they should actually look at everyone else, as everyone else around them is clearly uncomfortable with them. The MC thinks that he should ride an earlier train tomorrow, so that he can avoid them. 2 days later, we see that the couple are there again, which makes the MC think that they weren't there yesterday. So why are they here this time? He thought he wouldn't see them if he rode the early train. The MC thinks that this can't be a coincidence as Hanabi looks at him. The MC says that she must be telling him that she has a new boyfriend now. The MC says that she's trying too hard and that he doesn't care anyways and ignores them. This annoys Hanabi. Chapter 3. We see that all the MC's classmates are greeting him with "good morning," and he is also wishing them back. The MC thinks about what happened at the train station and reflects that, for some reason, he has been tired since the morning. He tells himself that, either way, he has to perk up and get energized. We see the MC say, "Why does it have to be PE first period?" We see the teacher explain to everyone that, as mentioned before, they will be deciding the orders for the sports festival's relay race. He explains that the one with the best time will be the anchor, and the second will be the second fastest. He also says that if anyone secures one of those 2 positions, they will become popular with the girls, and tells them to try their best, which gets every guy happy and excited. The MC thinks that everyone is highly motivated, and says that he's always tried his best to get average every year, and that he doesn't know his own capabilities. He then reflects on his past when, in kindergarten, he won first prize in a sports day race. We see the MC happy, but then we see Hanabi, who was still young, come and tear off his sticker. She told him that she hates how he looks when he's running, and that he's way too fast, like a horse, and that it is not cool at all. She tells him to run a bit slower. The MC continues and says that after that incident, he started running slowly on purpose. And every year, when the sports festival approached, Hanabi kept telling him to run slower. We see her saying that she always hates it when she is not the most loved one and the center of attention. The MC says that he is sure she would hate it if he stole all the spotlight, pointing at her. We see the MC think that he doesn't want to stand out, but that he no longer wishes to continue hiding his true self in the shadow, and that he wishes to be normal like everyone else. It's the MC's turn to run now. The MC starts running and thinks that it's so easy to run, and that he doesn't have to check his sides to adjust his speed, and that this feels like a breeze. He finishes the race and turns back to see the results. But we see that everyone is shocked. The teacher asks the MC if he could actually run this fast, and says that his time is fast enough to break the prefecture's record, which shocks everyone. The MC asks himself if he was really that fast. We see Haruta say that if the MC participates, they will have a landslide victory, and he will for sure be the anchor. We see everyone say that if the MC, who is fast enough to break the prefectural record, becomes the anchor, their class will win for sure, and everyone agrees, saying that it sounds great. Everyone says that if they win the race, they will get free dessert coupons from the cafeteria as they celebrate. The MC thinks that this somehow has become a big deal as he sees them celebrate. The MC tells the class that he is sorry to rain on their parade, but his run just now might have been a fluke and that he's not even a member of any sports club. He tells them that he is sorry and that he can't serve as an anchor. Hearing this, the entire class becomes sad and suddenly starts begging the MC to please be the anchor. The MC thinks that since everyone is going this far, he shouldn't refuse them. The MC tells the class that he can't guarantee a win, but if they are fine with that, he will gladly join them and try his best. Hearing this, the entire class is happy and celebrates. Haruta thanks the MC for accepting, to which the MC replies that it's no problem and that he was actually surprised by everyone's reaction and is glad that they asked him and think highly of him. Haruta tells the MC that he really is a good guy after all, as he is crying. Everyone says that somehow they are falling more and more in love with the MC. We now see that the girls are saying that the MC is not only handsome, but also quick on his feet. We see a girl say that he's not even in a sports club, while another girl says he is a handsome guy who is good at sports as well, and that she thinks she's falling in love with him. Everyone is surrounding the MC as the MC thinks that he can't believe he was a loner a few days ago. But as soon as he parted ways with Hanabi, his life seems to have taken a turn for the better. We see Yukishiro tell the MC that he is attracting attention again, to which he replies that he once thought of becoming an athlete, and that it's not like his speed is helpful with anything anyway. Yukishiro asks, "Really?" and tells him that isn't he like a hero in this school at this point? She says that she wishes she had good reflexes like the MC and asks him if he has any tips for her. The MC says that he's not sure and that there might be something, but he doesn't know. Yukishiro gets sad and says that since the MC was quite athletic, she thought that he could teach her something and maybe help her in some way, and says that she wants to skip the sports festival. Hearing this, the MC asks her if she really hates it that much, to which she replies that she hates it a lot. The MC thinks that he wished he could have been of help to her a little. We see someone go towards the MC and call him. We see that it's Chiaki from the track and field. The MC thinks that this is the guy who set the second place record this morning at the grounds, and that he became the second fastest in the relay race. The MC wonders what Chiaki wants from him. Chiaki asks the MC if he is going to run the relay with all he's got, which makes the MC question it. Chiaki gets serious and asks the MC if he is willing to die to win the race, to which the MC says that he doesn't plan on dying though. Chiaki says that'll be a problem, and in anticipation of his abilities and potential, he has a favor to ask him. Chiaki says that he has been training hard to be the anchor no matter what in this year's relay race, but the MC easily surpassed his record. The MC asks him if he is asking the MC to pass the anchor position to him and says it's not a problem, but is stopped by Chiaki. Chiaki says that's not the case and admits that he lost to the MC, so he hopes that, in his stead, the MC can risk everything he has to bear the B-class's anchor, Kirigaya Taichi, which makes Yukishiro and the MC confused. Yukishiro asks Chiaki if he is talking about Kirigaya from the track and field club, and the one with a sugary, handsome face? Chiaki gets angry and says exactly, the guy with a sloppy face and who has all the girls around him. The MC thinks that it's the new guy Hanabi was with at the station. The MC asks Chiaki why he wants to win against him that badly and asks if they are rivals. Chiaki becomes upset and then suddenly screams in anger that Kirigaya stole his girlfriend, which shocks the MC and Yukishiro. The MC asks himself if Kirigaya wasn't with Hanabi this morning, as Chiaki says that he doesn't hate him for taking his girlfriend away and says that he only has himself to blame for that, and it's due to his own weakness that it happened. He continues and says that Kirigaya threw her away like she was nothing and switched to a first-year girl, and that he won't ever forgive that bastard. The MC thinks that this explains why he was with Hanabi and tells Chiaki that this sounds tough. Chiaki says that it's not only that. When he saw him in the hallway just now, Kirigaya asked Chiaki if they are deciding on the relay position in the next homeroom and whether Chiaki will be the anchor this time, too. Kirigaya says that he will be the anchor for his class, for sure, and that he can't help but pity Chiaki, and that he can't believe he lost to him first in love, and now in the sports festival, too. The MC, after hearing this, tells him that wouldn't it be better if he was the anchor then, which makes Chiaki cry. Chiaki says that no matter how hard he trains, he can't win against Kirigaya. Chiaki suddenly grabs the MC and says that the MC is on the other side of the wall which he couldn't climb over, just like Kirigaya, and asks the MC to knock that scum off his high horse for him. The MC asks Chiaki what exactly he should do, to which Chiaki replies that he will teach him how to run, and when that's done, the MC's time will definitely improve, and then he can challenge the relay in his best condition, even though Kirigaya holds the prefecture's record. The MC says that there's no way he can win against a record holder, to which Chiaki says that's not true, and that the MC has the potential to beat Kirigaya with some training. The MC says that they aren't racing as individuals, but as teams, and that even if he improves his own time, would it be really enough to change their team's run as a whole? Chiaki says that might not be true, and that he compared their class's time to Kirigaya's, and obviously, everyone's condition during that day might vary. He continues and says that while races like these are greatly influenced by each member's ability, the battle between the anchors is just as important. Chiaki bows his head down and begs the MC to please train with him for the next 2 weeks before the sports festival. The MC thinks for a bit and tells Chiaki that in exchange for helping him, the MC wants Chiaki to teach Yukishiro to run as well. Yukishiro asks them if they are really sure about this. The MC says that with the job of teaching Yukishiro left to Chiaki, they decide to beat Kirigaya. The next day, we see that Chiaki and Yukishiro are greeting the MC with good morning. The MC thinks that it's his first time meeting up with people and says that Hanabi would always have her eyes on him, and he's never done anything classmate-like. The three of them are happy and having fun talking together. We see that Hanabi is jealous of seeing them happy and says that she found the MC. Chapter 4. We see Chiaki tell the MC and Yukishiro that they'll be starting the warm-ups and scream that they are going to beat Class B. He corrects himself and says that they will beat the shit out of Kirigaya. The MC tells us that they've decided to help Chiaki win against Kirigaya, the guy who stole his girlfriend. During the rally at the sports festival, Chiaki tells the MC and Yukishiro that it'll be meaningless if they get injured, and tells them to make sure they do it properly, to which they both say, okay. We see Yukishiro try to touch her toes but fail and fall, which startles the MC. Yukishiro looks at the MC as the MC laughs at her. She says that he laughed, and she is angry, and tries to hit the MC. The MC laughs, and says that it was his bad, and that he just found her cute. This surprises her, and makes her blush. She asks the MC if he is a natural lady killer. The MC questions this. We suddenly hear someone call them out and see that it's Chiaki, crying in jealousy. He tells them how dare they flirt in front of him, who was just beaten to a pulp in his love life. We see Yukishiro practice running as Chiaki times her. The MC looks at them and thinks that, just as expected of someone from track and field, Chiaki's coaching is on point, and both his and Yukishiro's times are improving a lot, but they can't expect obvious results since they've just started. We see Yukishiro run to the MC, all tired, and then the MC calls her cute, to which she replies that she knew the MC was a lady killer, which shocks the MC as Chiaki begs them to stop flirting in front of him already. As Chiaki is sitting there sad, he says that they've been practicing every morning and evening. Coming to Hanabi, the MC says that it took her only a bit of time to appear on the train he rides again. Hanabi looks all sleepy, which makes the MC think that it must be too much for her to wake up an hour earlier. The MC says that Hanabi always redid her hair for the slightest things she didn't like as he notices her bed hair. Hanabi notices the MC and walks towards him angrily and asks him how dare he try to get away from her last time. She says that a plan made by someone as dumb as the MC took her nothing to realize, and says that the MC will be seeing her face every day again from now on, to which the MC replies, I don't think you have to force yourself to get up early, you know? And at least not so much that she'd get that amount of bed hair, which makes Hanabi embarrassed. She fixes her hair as the MC thinks that she hadn't noticed it yet. Hanabi tells him enough about the hair, and that she's heard that the MC will be the anchor during the rally, to which the MC asks, what about that? All confused, which makes Hanabi angry. She tells him to at least put a bit of effort into his reply and gets annoyed. Hanabi points at the MC and says that she is giving a declaration and says that even though she told him not to run seriously in front of people, she thought that she should humiliate him for ignoring her. She introduces Kirigaya and says that he will be on full throttle to destroy him, so she asks him to be ready. Kirigaya gets close to the MC and tells him he's sorry, but the MC should seriously get ready to eat the dust he'll leave for him as Hanabi is smiling. Hanabi tells the MC goodbye, and that he should do whatever he can to struggle as they walk away. Now we see the MC and Yukishiro practice intensely together. We see Chiaki say that they are finished for the day and that the MC and Yukishiro did a good job. Yukishiro is relieved and says that they survived as she stretches and lays down on the ground. All three sit next to each other and say that tomorrow's the day. Chiaki tells the MC and Yukishiro that they both improved a lot and that he is sure they will get amazing results during the festival. He says that a rally race isn't a one-on-one, but he thinks that the MC can win against Kirigaya, and that with the talent the MC started with and 2 whole weeks worth of training, the MC smiles and thanks Chiaki, and says that he wished they could have had more time to get more training though. This makes Chiaki tear up, and he says that even though he worked so hard for the past 2 weeks, he can't believe that the MC still has such a great attitude. Chiaki tells the MC and Yukishiro that he's thankful they are helping him with this, and to tell the truth, he couldn't get any sleep thanks to Kirigaya and his ex. But since they've started training, he's been putting his mind to helping them train, and thanks to that, he could finally get some shut-eye, and that they both have all the gratitude he can give. Yukishiro hesitantly says that she didn't, and it's all thanks to the MC that she got to learn how to run, and that she's gotten so much faster, so she should be the one feeling grateful, to which the MC agrees, and thanks them for spending time with him like actual classmates. All of them smile happily and look at each other. Chiaki says that spending time with the 2 of them was so much more enjoyable, and that his hate for Kirigaya isn't exactly gone yet. Yukishiro speaks and says that when she saw Kirigaya yesterday, she thought that she had the wrong person, but he actually changed his hairstyle and says that he looks more refreshing, or rather more like the MC, which the MC questions. She says that she only meant his hair, and everything else is totally different. The MC says that Kirigaya's hair was already like that when he saw him at the station, though, to which Chiaki says that Kirigaya cut his hair ever since he started dating the first year. He says that his ex broke up with him, saying that she liked Kirigaya's hair, so he might have cut it just to spite him. Chiaki says that he looks like an idiot, which confuses the MC. Chiaki continues and says that he hasn't put it down all this time and tells them to laugh at him all they want. The MC says that he won't do that and tells Chiaki that it was just a small part of his life, and no one has the right to laugh at people who loved someone wholeheartedly, as Yukishiro looks at the MC. Chiaki cries and says that the MC is a really nice dude. We see the MC cheer Chiaki and tell us that since that day, the 3 of them became friends, and for him, they were the first friends he made in his life. When going back home, we see Yukishiro say that she really felt it again today, that the MC is really a considerate person. The MC is surprised and asks her what brought this on, to which she replies that it came to her again when Chiaki was crying, and there was also when he asked Chiaki to train her, and that the MC has worked really hard for Chiaki for the past 2 weeks. Yukishiro gets all close to the MC and says that she thinks that side of him is really wonderful. Yukishiro realizes how close she is, and both blush and step back as she tells the MC, sorry. Yukishiro tells the MC that when she got to know the MC, this person is wonderful. That thought made her very happy. They look at each other, and the MC gets shy. He tells Yukishiro that hearing that made him embarrassed, as he's thinking that this is the first time someone said that to him. Yukishiro laughs and says, me too, but she still wanted to let him know, no matter what. They both are embarrassed. Yukishiro tells the MC that they should do their best for tomorrow, to which the MC agrees. They both say bye and go home. At night, the MC is thinking about what Yukishiro told him, and suddenly gets up and says that, at this rate, he won't fall asleep. The MC says that this is the first time he is experiencing this. As the dawn arrives, we see that the MC's class is saying that they are bringing this home for sure in excitement. We see that at last, it is the day of the sports festival. Chapter 6. Chiaki plays in the tug-of-war and wins, while the MC's other classmates participate in all the other sports. The MC, Yukishiro, and Chiaki cheer them on, and we now see Yukishiro also participate in a sport. The MC thinks that he should head to the spot for rope jumping soon, so he heads out. We now see Hanabi in a cheerleader's dress as she looks at the MC. Kirigaya tells her that he can't wait for her cheerleading battles, and says that he can't help but feel like he can win anything now, because she is cheering for them, and another guy agrees with him. Hanabi acts cute and asks Kirigaya to get first place for her, to which he agrees and says that he would never lose. Hanabi makes a smug face and thinks that she is cheering for them, so of course they won't lose. As the MC is trying to find the next spot for the event, finally, the class relay is starting. The announcer asks the first runners to gather at their corresponding lanes, and Chiaki is telling the MC that he will run his fullest as the first leg, and that he will leave the rest to the MC. Yukishiro tells the MC and Chiaki that they should do their best. Chiaki tells them goodbye and goes to his lane. We now see Chiaki sit in position and the race starts. Chiaki is in the lead as his class is cheering for him. We see the race continue, and Yukishiro says that it's almost her turn. The MC tells her to calm down and that she'll be fine if she follows what they've practiced. Yukishiro calls the MC and asks him to lend her his hand, and she holds it. She says that now she feels like she can do it and goes to her lane as the MC blushes. The baton is passed to Yukishiro and she takes off. She sprints with everything she's got as Chiaki is telling her to remember her training. The MC hesitates but tells her that she can do it and to do her best. Yukishiro passes the baton as the class cheers for the next person. The MC is surprised, and he can feel his heartbeat. Yukishiro walks up to the MC as she is out of breath. The MC tells her that she did a great job out there. She tells the MC that she somehow heard him cheering for her, which surprises the MC, and he tells her that they were pretty far from each other. She says that that's why it was amazing, and says that it was like a miracle. She tells the MC that she'll be cheering for him with everything she's got too. The MC says that with Chiaki as the first runner and his classmates passing the baton to Yukishiro's pass, his job as the anchor holds a big meaning, and he thinks that he wants to get a good result for everybody's sake as well. Chapter 7. Now we see that the relay is still going on, and the MC is in his position. The MC thinks that Class B is currently way ahead of everyone, and that his class is barely holding on to second. Suddenly, we see someone ask why nobody like the MC is the anchor, and ask him, didn't they have a track and field guy too? He continues and says that Chiaki's record has become kinda shitty after his girl dumped him, and that he won't win no matter what he does. Not in running, nor in love. But he stops as the MC warns him that his baton is coming. Kirigaya gets his baton and takes off at full speed. Now, we see that the MC's class's baton comes, and he grabs it and starts sprinting. The MC thinks that now that he's gotten this far, all that's left is to remember what Chiaki taught him. He passes second place and comes close to first, who is Kirigaya. He chases him and says that he'll just finish this, and approaches Kirigaya. Kirigaya gets surprised when he notices the MC behind him. The MC runs past Kirigaya as Kirigaya desperately tries to chase him, but the MC overtakes him and finishes the race. The MC's classmates run up to him and say that he's the best and that he was amazing. They carry him up and start tossing him in the air and cheer for him. The MC thinks, what should he do? And looks at Yukishiro and Chiaki, who are smiling, and Chiaki is crying. The MC thinks that he is glad as long as those two are happy. We see the MC celebrate, and Hanabi is frustrated. Chapter 8. Everyone cheers for the MC and gathers around him. Haruta tells the MC that he's seriously amazing and that he was so freaking fast. Another girl tells the MC that they're in first place, all thanks to him taking up the anchor's position. The MC notices other girls talk and say that wasn't Class B's anchor, Kirigaya, and laugh at him, saying that he got outrun, even though he's the track and field's ace, and that's what he gets for having that face, but a shitty personality. We see Kirigaya devastated. Kirigaya looks at Hanabi and sees that she is angry. The MC notices this and says that Hanabi's boyfriend lost because of him, and that he can't blame her for getting mad. The MC says that he wanted to win for Chiaki's sake, and wonders if Hanabi thinks that the MC won to spite her. Chiaki tells everyone that they should gather at the karaoke in front of the station. The MC thinks that he was never invited to one, let alone joining. Yukishiro asks the MC if they should group up in the classroom after changing, as the MC thinks that even Yukishiro said that she wanted to go with him. He says that everyone invited him too, so he decided to at least join them. The MC tells Yukishiro that they can just meet up at the entrance, but remembers that they need to grab their bags, so he agrees to the classroom. The MC hears someone say, "What did you call me all the way out here for?" We see that it's Kirigaya talking to Hanabi and saying that it was his bad and that he wasn't at his best today. The MC doesn't want to bump into Hanabi, so he grabs Yukishiro behind a tree, which makes her blush and question him. The MC tells her sorry for dragging her into this, and that he didn't want them to see him. Yukishiro says that it would be awkward since they won against them in the relay, as he tells her to be quiet, and thinks that he doesn't really care about Kirigaya though. We hear Kirigaya say sorry, and that he really wanted to show Hanabi his good sides, and that somehow he felt like he wasn't doing too well today, so he couldn't go all out. He says that there's no point in going all out in a school festival. He says that they have the inter-high preliminary coming up, so he will show her how cool he is there, to which Hanabi asks him what he means by next time, which confuses Kirigaya. Hanabi asks him if he thought that she would give him another chance, and asks him to fix his delusions. Kirigaya is confused as Hanabi continues, and tells him not to talk to her like they are close, and that his fake boyfriend role is over. Kirigaya asks what she means by fake, and asks, isn't he her actual boyfriend? To which she says, when did she say that? Kirigaya tells her that she always said that she wanted to go to school with him and always clung to his arm. Hanabi laughs and asks him if that much gave him the wrong idea. She tells him how sorry of an excuse of a brain does he have, and that it looks like all the nutrition went into his muscles, but that only brought him so far as well. She says that someone as worthless as him can never be her boyfriend, and that she only wants one person in her life to be her boyfriend. Kirigaya asks her what she means, to which she says that it has nothing to do with him. Kirigaya desperately tries to convince her, and says that he'll fix anything that she is not happy with, that he even dumped her ex for her, and that he even changed into this hairstyle, like she told him to. Hanabi laughs and says that there it is, the pattern where he says that he did everything just for her, and that he's already useless as it is, so he should stop embarrassing himself any further. She tells him that he couldn't even run like a horse, and tells him to never speak to her again, and tells him good job as he cries. Kirigaya tries to talk to her, but she coldly tells him to vanish already, which makes Kirigaya run away, all scared. She suddenly asks, what is the MC doing over there? So the MC and Yukishiro come out of hiding and face Hanabi. Chapter 9. We see Hanabi asking the MC, what are you doing over there? She then asks him, did you come over here to laugh at me? And tells him not to think that this is the end for her. Even though she failed this time, thanks to the useless guy, she'll make him say that he gave in one of these days. To this, the MC replies, if you want me to say how much better I became after getting away from you, then I'll give in to that for sure. Hanabi looks angry and tells the MC, you were always so good at making me angry, but I'm not the type to be provoked by that. You should be ready for my revenge. She says this and walks away. The MC watches her go as Yukishiro looks at him. Yukishiro asks the MC, what was that about? To which he replies, I'm sorry for making you listen to something weird. Yukishiro says, it's okay, and asks the MC if he's okay, noting that it felt heated between him and Hanabi back there. The MC says that he's fine, and thanks her for worrying about him. Now, we see everyone at the class party. Haruta tells everyone, good work, and that they should have a round of applause for today's MVP, the MC, which surprises him. His classmates compliment the MC, saying that everyone was cheering and that he looked cool when he pulled ahead. They say it was surely the highlight of the day, and thank the MC for carrying their class. The MC says there's no need to thank him, as everybody had to pass the baton, and they were able to win because each and every one of them worked hard. Hearing this makes everyone tear up, saying they are so moved, which makes the MC think that he wasn't expecting this. We see that the class is having fun singing, as the MC thinks that according to Chiaki, it seems that most of their classmates participated in the party, and that normally he wouldn't be invited if he wasn't involved. He thinks that he doesn't know everything about his classmates yet, but the two class reps don't seem like the type to exclude anyone. We see Yukishiro tell the MC that she really likes this song, to which the MC replies that he also likes it, and that the lyrics are really good. Suddenly, we hear someone say in a loud voice that they will be singing the next song, which grabs everyone's attention. We see that it is Chiaki. He says that this song is for the MC and that it's a song of friendship. This confuses the MC as others think, is this BL? Chiaki says that, as everyone knows, he was dumped by his ex, which makes a guy say NTR, causing Chiaki to cry. Chiaki says that he got his revenge today against the womanizer with the MC's help, and thanks the MC as he cries. Everyone is surprised and says, isn't the MC way too cool? Not only did he do well in the relay, but he also helped his friend. The MC says that he originally cooperated with Chiaki because he wanted him to help Yukishiro practice, which makes the girls like him even more. They say that his kindness towards Yukishiro is wonderful as they cry and blush. The guys cry even harder, saying that the MC is doing great things but isn't boasting about it, and they finally understand what it means to be good-looking, even in personality. The MC, feeling tired, says that this is difficult, to which Yukishiro says that the MC is a hero, and no wonder everyone is making a fuss. The MC questions this, saying that she is exaggerating. Yukishiro replies that he is not as low as he thinks he is, and that he has no idea how many people admire him. She silently mumbles that it's not just everyone, but even she also admires him. The MC couldn't hear this, so he questions her. Yukishiro blushes and says that the MC looked very cool today, and when she was watching him run, her chest tightened, and it became suffocating. Hearing this makes the MC blush and look at her smiling. The MC asks himself, what are these feelings? As the MC and Yukishiro sit in awkward silence, while everyone else is enjoying themselves. We see the entire class have fun and sing as Chiaki continues to cry tears of joy. The MC smiles, seeing all this, and goes out of the room. The MC is going to the washroom, but overhears two girls talking. They say that they don't really like Minaguchi and the others, and that it's like they're trying all they can to get closer to the MC. One of the girls says, "She's like a bitch in heat," which shocks the MC. Chapter 10, we see that the girls bad-mouthing the others are Erika and Mirai. Erika says that the others think they're the most popular people in the class, and to not get her wrong, but she's sure that everyone else thinks they're a bunch of bitches. Mirai agrees. The MC thinks that these girls are in the same class as him. Erika continues, saying that in the first place, it's not just the MC. She doesn't understand why the others want to get involved with popular boys. The MC thinks that it's true that Minaguchi often talked to him from the day he cut his hair, but he's sure that it's a misunderstanding, that she's trying to get closer to him. Erika continues and says that the existence of men itself is disgusting, and questions what makes the other girls so happy to be fawned over by such creatures. She says that she gets goosebumps if that happened to her. Mirai agrees and says that boys should exist only in 2D, to which Erika agrees, saying that all men should perish except for the beautiful ones in 2D. The MC thinks that Minaguchi is the complete opposite, so no wonder they don't seem to get along. He says that he's not sure about badmouthing her, though, as he walks away. The MC is enjoying himself back at the party and notices Erika and Mirai walking back into the room. The class party is over, and we hear people say that it was the first time they've had a class party like this, but it was fun. The girls say that they want to do this again with everyone, and ask the MC if he is going to come too. The other guys grab the MC and say that the girls are so persistent and tell the MC that they should go for a boys only next time, to which the girls say that's not fair. The MC says that he'll join if he has the time, which makes Minaguchi happy and makes him promise. The MC suddenly feels something, which scares him, and questions what it was. He looks back to find nothing. The MC thinks that he thought he saw a shadow move, but maybe it was just him. Yukishiro asks the MC what's wrong, to which he says that it's nothing and thinks that it must have been a stray cat. Yukishiro asks the MC if he wants to walk home together until they split up, to which he replies, "Of course, and rather than halfway, I'll see you home instead." Hearing this makes her blush. The MC says that it's late, and he couldn't let a girl walk alone in the dark, could he? Yukishiro blushes and asks the MC why he is suddenly saying kyun things so casually. The MC questions what she means by this, to which she says that it's so troubling to always get kyunned by the MC. Yukishiro looks at the MC all shy, as the MC looks back at her. Everyone says bye to the MC and Yukishiro and heads home. The MC and Yukishiro talk to each other as we see that Hanabi is watching them both from the shadows and says, "Those people, how dare they to my senpai," in anger. Hanabi says that she should be the only one who knows how charming the MC is, and yet she can't believe that he's walking Yukishiro home. She looks at the MC and says that it's because he's too kind, and that he'll fall prey to the girls around him. She says that she has to get the MC back from them. Hanabi laughs and says that she'll make everyone regret getting close to her senpai, and that their happy school life will soon come to an end, as she laughs more. The next day, we see everyone in the class talking to each other happily, when suddenly the teacher walks in, and the class goes silent. Everyone is confused, and the teacher is worried. The teacher places a letter on her table, and says that a letter was sent to the school accusing the class of bullying, which shocks everyone. Chapter 11. We see the teacher say that they have received a complaint letter regarding bullying in the class. Everyone in the class is confused as the teacher continues and says that she is saddened by this. She asks, "Who was it that bullied Erika to the point that she can't come to school anymore?" The MC recalls her name and thinks, what kind of person was she again? He thinks that he knows Yukishiro, who sits next to him, and even the conspicuous ones in their class, and that he's never involved himself with her, unlike other classmates. So, nothing comes to his mind when he hears her name. The MC recalls that she mentioned she was absent, and looks at her empty seat. He thinks that the seat should belong to the girl who was complaining about her classmate in the hallway at karaoke, which means that girl is Erica then. The MC thinks that what she said that day were hurtful things and questions if that is really the response of someone who is bullied. He thinks that at that time, Erica had quite the harsh attitude, and that it's hard to imagine her in a weak position like a victim of bullying. The teacher asks the class, why is nobody calling anyone out? If anyone has the slightest bit of guilty conscience, they should throw their hands up. The MC talks to himself and says that he doesn't know about the suspect searching atmosphere, and that with this atmosphere, even if the bully is regretting their actions, they would still hesitate to say anything. He thinks that since the homeroom teacher looks like a new graduate, her motivation is in the wrong direction. The teacher speaks and says, it seems like no one is calling out any names. Although there are bad teachers that cover up bullying cases in this world, this school is different. Until the bullying case is resolved, there's a possibility that the school camp will be canceled. Hearing this shocks everyone. The MC explains that the school camp is a big event that everyone is excited for, and to cancel it just like that is, in the end, no one was called for the suspect. The MC says that the atmosphere in class felt like a funeral after that day. 5 days have passed, and we see the teacher say that the school has received another letter, which shocks everyone. The teacher says that this letter has the name of the student who's been bullying Erica, and that she'd like to see them come clean to her and confess their wrongdoings. The class is silent, so the teacher says that she wanted to avoid doing this, but she is left with no choice. She suddenly calls Yukishiro's name and asks her to come with her, which shocks her and the MC. The teacher says that the letter that was sent to them today had her name on it, and that they'll have Yukishiro explain in detail in the consultant room. She drags Yukishiro, who is saying that she's never bullied anyone. The teacher tells her to leave the details for when her homeroom teacher is there too, which makes Yukishiro go silent. The MC looks at Yukishiro as she looks back at him in sadness. The MC asks the teacher to wait a second and that there must be a mistake, but the teacher ignores him and says that she'll hear the rest from Yukishiro herself. The teacher takes Yukishiro away as everyone is shocked, and Yukishiro starts crying, which surprises the MC. Chapter 12. We see people in class question if Yukishiro was on good terms with Erica, to which a girl replies that she's never seen them together. She adds that Yukishiro is always minding her own business, reading books, while Erica always talks about anime with her weeb friend, and that Erica and Yukishiro don't seem like they have much in common. But the letter Erica sent had Yukishiro's name on it. Chiaki comes to the MC to ask him what his thoughts are on this, to which the MC says that nothing makes sense. He explains that if someone were to get bullied in school, even if the class teacher isn't aware, it's impossible for classmates not to notice. Chiaki looks around and says, that might be true, and it seems like everyone is surprised this time around. The MC says that he doesn't think Yukishiro is the type to bully people, and asks Chiaki if she thinks the same, to which she says yes. The MC then says that the content of the letter is suspicious, which makes Chiaki ask if he's saying that the person who sent the letter is lying, and for what reason. We now see the MC and Chiaki notice something. It's Yukishiro coming back. Yukishiro looks sad and walks back to her seat, sitting down silently. Chiaki goes back to his seat. Yukishiro writes a note and passes it to the MC. The note says that she didn't bully Erica and tells the MC to please believe her. We see Yukishiro cry as the MC looks at her and says, you shouldn't worry, because I'm not doubting you. Hearing this breaks Yukishiro, and she starts crying uncontrollably. The MC looks at her and says that he realized the moment he saw those tears that he's going to get to the bottom of this. Now we see Chiaki annoyed, asking, what the hell was that HR? This is pretty bad. We now see what happened before HR ended. We see the students pass a paper as the teacher says that she talked to Yukishiro just now, and that Yukishiro insists she didn't bully anyone. But that wouldn't be enough to solve the case because there is a letter accusing Yukishiro of bullying, after all. The teacher says she'd like everyone to write down whatever they know, and like she said during HR that morning, the field trip will be canceled if this isn't resolved by then. She urges the class to help, reminding them that the field trip is at stake. Hearing this makes the MC think that the teacher is making it sound like as long as Yukishiro doesn't admit it, the field trip will be canceled. He thinks this just keeps getting worse and worse. The MC tells Chiaki and Yukishiro that it's a shame, but he doesn't think they can leave this to their teacher and thinks it'd be better if they handle it themselves. Chiaki agrees, saying, putting the way this teacher solves bullying aside, the way she does stuff is already a problem, because she's basically indirectly bullying bring Yukishiro to. Yukishiro apologizes for dragging them into this mess, to which the MC says, "You didn't do anything wrong, and if we go with what we know right now, everything will come to light eventually." He adds that he knows it's tough on her right now, but they are right there for her, to which Chiaki nods and agrees. This makes Yukishiro a little happy, and she thanks them. The MC looks at her and thinks that he wants to calm her heart as soon as possible. The MC says that they should start with the letters and asks Yukishiro to tell them what the teachers told her. He asks who sent those letters. She says it was Erika herself, and in fact, the second letter was apparently handed over during a house visit. This makes Chiaki think and say, basically, Yukishiro is the bad guy simply because her name was on the paper, and since it doesn't seem like a third party was involved, this might be easier than we thought. The MC thinks that the reason Yukishiro is accused of bullying could be due to a misunderstanding or a communication gap that led Erika to believe she was being bullied by Yukishiro. But whatever it is, he'll just need to ask Erika. The MC looks at Chiaki and Yukishiro and says, "We should head over to Erika's house," which surprises them. Chapter 13. We see the MC say that for now, they should try going to Erika's house, and her address should be in the class book. Yukishiro agrees and nods yes. She calls the MC and says that she knows she said not to pick on Erika, but she's getting a little nervous now. She wonders if maybe, without knowing, she hurt her. Yukishiro explains that they've never talked before, but still, the chances aren't zero. That's why, if she did do something, she wants to apologize directly. The MC thinks back to when he was bullied, even though he never spoke, and questions if there's going to be a situation where the other party retaliates. But right now, he doesn't have enough information to deny Yukishiro's kind words. We see Chiaki go to his club, and the MC thinks they have to meet Erika. Now we see Erika tell the MC and Yukishiro through the intercom to please go home. She says she's heard from the teacher that Yukishiro's not a bully, but she was abused by her every day. Hearing this confuses them. Erika says, "What's that? You sound so innocent." She tells Yukishiro to just admit it and apologize in front of her classmates, screaming that she won't forgive her otherwise, which scares Yukishiro. The MC thinks that Erika's request is strange and questions, why would she demand an apology in front of their classmates when Erika herself won't be there? And to whom does Yukishiro apologize? What on earth does Erika want? The MC suddenly flinches, thinking this feels like what he experienced at the karaoke. He suddenly notices a girl running away. The MC tells Yukishiro sorry and asks her to wait for him right there as he chases the girl. The MC finally catches up to her, and we see that the girl is Hanabi. She laughs and says, "You got me." The MC asks her what she's doing here, to which she questions if she's required to answer that. The MC wonders if Hanabi is involved in the Erika bullying case. He thinks it's strange to suddenly run into her in a place like this, and Hanabi seems to be more amused than anything else. Hanabi asks the MC what's gotten into him for him to be chasing her so desperately. Hanabi gets close to the MC and says, "You told me we were going to be strangers, but actually, you couldn't stand the loneliness of living without me. You're such a hopeless person. But because I'm oh so kind, I'll forgive you if you apologize and cling to me." The MC straight up tells her no thanks, which confuses Hanabi. The MC asks her if she is involved in the current bullying scandal happening in his class, to which she hesitantly asks what he's talking about. The MC suddenly corners Hanabi, which makes her blush and question him. Chapter 14. The MC corners her and looks at her in confusion and questions himself why she is blushing, and if it's because she was running. He thinks that does not matter here and what matters is, and asks Hanabi to stop with the "I can't lie, and it's easy to find out what I'm thinking for" act. Hearing this, Hanabi laughs and says this is expected of the MC and that he's the only one who understands her this well. The MC thinks that he's not surprised by her easy-to-understand hints and explains that ever since she was a child, she has been lying and deceiving the adults around her, and he's been watching her this whole time, so there's no way he'll get caught in her antics. We see an incident where Hanabi takes the credit for finding a cat, which the MC found, and she enjoys the reward. In the present, the MC tells Hanabi that she's not fooling anyone, which makes her say that he found out so easily, and that running away and acting all panicky, she thought she looked pretty cute. The MC asks her, what did she do this time? And if she is the one who ordered Erika to confess that she was being bullied, Hanabi says as if she can order her, and that she merely gave her advice on her troubles. The intrusive sense of solidarity among the classmates or the happy-go-lucky atmosphere made her irritated, so Hanabi told her that there is a way to mess that up, and says that Erika is kind of doing what Hanabi said. She questions if the effect was extraordinary, and to think she was still involved outside of school. Hello everyone! Just a reminder to please hit like, share, and subscribe to help me hit 50,000 subs. Thanks. Now back to the video. Hanabi laughs and says that Erika seems to be satisfied too, to which the MC asks if they know each other. Hanabi replies no, and that she was just looking for someone who could disrupt his class, and it was completely a coincidence that she found her. The MC thinks that Hanabi took advantage of the opening in Erika's heart, and asks Hanabi how did she meet Erika. Hanabi replies and says that if it's about his classmates, then in the first place, she's collected information from everything and converted it into useful data, which confuses the MC as he questions himself if this means that the presence he felt in front of the karaoke was also Hanabi's. She asks the MC if he knows why she did this, to which the MC replies that she probably just wanted to get revenge back at him. Hanabi says that it's true that she's angry at some parts of the rebellious MC who acted selfishly, but that said, if he's thinking that she's doing this because she wants to get revenge at him, he's way off the mark. She says that what she's doing is swatting the flies that swarm him, and she wants him to see more clearly. After hearing this, the MC thinks that he can already see clearly and that he shouldn't play along with her antics. He says that this time it's Hanabi's fault and asks if she is ready to explain this to the school, to which Hanabi laughs and replies that the MC is asking the obvious and that he's still clumsy as ever. The MC thinks that Hanabi won't testify to the teacher herself and that it's better and still possible to persuade Erika. In the first place, the main culprit who caused this was Erika, and no matter how much he talks to Hanabi, the situation won't change. So he stops cornering Hanabi. She asks if he's going already and why they don't go home together, and says that he also wanted to talk to her more, right? And that he's not being honest. The MC looks at her and tells her to not take this the wrong way, but the reason that he chased after her wasn't because he wanted to talk, but because he just wanted to solve his class problem. Hearing this makes Hanabi panic, and she asks the MC to wait, saying that this can't be it, right? And that she thought he wanted to get back at her to the point that he was so angry that his head was being preoccupied with her. The MC thinks that he knows that Hanabi caused all of this, because she wanted attention from him, but he can't forgive her for hurting Yukishiro for her selfish reasons. But that doesn't mean that he can blame or criticize Hanabi. He thinks, if so, what kind of response would be most effective? The MC just walks away as he tells her that she should make new friends and not enemies, like what he's been doing. Hanabi gets angry and screams at the MC that they'll never be like what they were in the past ever again, which the MC just ignores and walks away. We see Hanabi cry, and the MC thinks that unlike the tears that Yukishiro shed, Hanabi's tears will never shake his heart, and that her tears were probably a part of her plans too. The MC explains that after he finished talking to Hanabi, he went back to Yukishiro and soon realized that he is the cause of everything. He tells Yukishiro that he had a falling out with someone a while ago and cut ties with them. In retribution for that, he has caused pain for those around him. He bows down and tells Yukishiro that he is sorry. Yukishiro grabs the MC's hands and tells him to raise his head, saying that he is not in the wrong at all. Yukishiro then asks the MC if he was being chased by the person with whom he had a falling out. He confirms that he was, and adds that it seems she is checking in on them. He also heard that she is the one who had Erika tell lies. The MC tells Yukishiro that he will deal with the matter of Erika himself and asks if she could give him one day to do it. Hearing this makes Yukishiro worried, and she asks the MC what he is planning to do. She offers to help, but the MC stops her and tells her to leave it to him. The MC explains that while he was talking with Hanabi, he has been thinking of ways to solve this incident. However, he might have to resort to underhanded methods, and he cannot let Yukishiro be involved with it. He apologizes again, saying that she might feel uneasy about this, but he will definitely do something about it. Yukishiro thanks him and says that she is fine. She then asks if the person he had a falling out with is okay, which surprises the MC. The MC thinks that he has yet to explain in detail the psychological abuse between him and Hanabi. If he talks about it now, it would emphasize the fact that he is a victim of Hanabi's, making the fact immutable. It is true that he is her victim, but it would be wrong to tell Yukishiro about this when she is in a worse situation. He is sure that the kind Yukishiro would sympathize with him, telling him that it is not his fault. The MC would rather avoid that if possible. However, since Yukishiro is in this bad situation because of Hanabi, she has a right to know why something like this happened. The MC thinks that once this has been resolved, he will talk to Yukishiro about the situation between him and Hanabi. So, he silently steals his resolve. The next day after school, the MC catches Mirai by surprise and says that he would like to ask her some things about Erika, which makes Mirai cautious. The MC explains that Mirai is the other person who was gossiping with Erika at the karaoke. Through her, he is hoping to get Erika's social media account. He asks Mirai if Erika uses social media and if she could tell him her account. Mirai says there is no way she will, as it is against the rules. The MC replies that he knows it is against the rules, but he needs to contact Erica no matter what, and promises that he won't tell who provided the information. Mirai sounds hesitant, but the MC asks her if she would like to testify, which scares her. The MC then asks her, since she has been with Erica, if she knows that Erica's claim of being bullied by Yukishiro is a lie. He bows down and says that Yukishiro is deeply hurt from this incident and asks Mirai to lend him a hand. Mirai turns away and says that she is sorry, but it is impossible. She questions why she should care if Yukishiro is in trouble, stating that she has no interest in things that do not involve her. She asserts that, in the first place, it is Erica's problem, and she has no reason to interfere. The MC asks if she isn't friends with Erica. Mirai replies that they are not friends, but rather geek mates, and while there is room for interpretation, she is not willing to go as far as covering for her, as she is annoyed. The MC thinks that, certainly, from Mirai's behavior, one would not think they are friends, but depending on the situation, Mirai might even accept his demands. The MC asks if she has no hard feelings towards Erica, and if she could lend a hand somehow. Mirai tells him not to get her wrong, and that she is not doing this for Erica, but that there is nothing in it for her but loss, so she won't tell. Hearing this, the MC asks if that means she won't cooperate, even if he asks. The MC thinks that he cannot help it, and that, if it has come to this, he will have to use his trump card, which he has saved for last resort situations. He tells her that he understands she won't help, even if he asks and proposes an exchange. He asks Mirai if she was at the karaoke after the sports festival, alone with Erica in the hallways near the toilets. Hearing this, Mirai is scared and asks the MC how he knows this. Chapter 16. We see Erica scared and ask the MC how he knows this, to which he replies that he just happened to be within earshot and then overheard the two of them bad-mouthing their classmates by name. He wonders what would happen if he told everyone about it, which scares Mirai even more. The MC continues and says that the people she was cussing about are the key members of their class. If she confronts such people, she'll likely have a very difficult year ahead of her. The MC thinks that even he's not sure what kind of attitude the other side will show, but in the off chance she's not bullied, she'll be shunned instead. Mirai asks the MC if he has proof, all scared, to which the MC says that he does not. Mirai says that even if she denies his baseless accusations, no one would believe her, to which he questions. Mirai asks the MC what he means. The MC says that Yukishiro has never bullied anyone and she denied it herself, and asks what about the class atmosphere. Suddenly, everyone became skeptical, and even Mirai herself is giving Yukishiro the benefit of the doubt. Once a rumor starts, there's no way to put it under control, and nobody cares where the truth lies, which scares Mirai more, because she could end up in the same situation. The MC continues, and says that unless there is a rebuttal with considerable evidence, all it does is harm the parties involved. Mirai asks the MC that if she gives Erica's social media account, he won't tell anyone about what they were doing, right? She doesn't care even if he reveals that Erica was bad-mouthing the others, but she surely and definitely doesn't want to get involved. Mirai continues, shaking from fear, and says that if she gets caught bad-mouthing others, she'll lose her place in the classroom, and even now, she is still considered the gloomy otaku girl. The MC tells her that he understands, and he promises her that he won't tell anyone about what he overheard at the karaoke. The MC thinks that he doesn't think it's a good idea to gossip about someone, and asks Mirai if she was jealous of Minaguchi and the others. He says that the truth is, it's the same for him, as he thinks that he's been a loner for years, and questions Mirai that Aihara, Minaguchi, and the other popular kids seem to be having so much fun that she can't help but admire them, right? We see the MC explain that Mirai's jealousy grew from the popular kids in the class, and that he could understand why Mirai felt the way she did. We see Mirai look at the MC in a new light, and whisper to herself that this is amazing, and that she can't believe there are people in 3D who are so cool, kind, and caring, and that miracles do exist. The MC is confused. The MC thinks that Mirai is speaking so fast that he can't keep up and calls her. Mirai immediately says that she changed her mind and that she will be secretly in charge starting today, and runs away as she blushes and giggles, which confuses the MC. We see the MC explain that, at night, he started the second phase of the plan, and from now on, he needs to pretend to be Hanabi. Then, he'll contact Erica's account that Mirai told him about. The MC says that because he heard Erica's voice over the intercom, he knows that she is not willing to lend her ear. But if the person contacting her is Hanabi, the one behind all this, she wouldn't make a fuss about it. If he can successfully make Erica listen to him, then from there on, he just needs her to create conclusive evidence that she lied about being bullied. The most important part of the plan is that he needs to impersonate Hanabi well enough so that Erica wouldn't be able to cast a doubt. The MC thinks that he's been with Hanabi for many years, and that he's confident he can impersonate her, but he doesn't know if Hanabi is keeping in touch with Erica on social media. He thinks that if they have kept in touch, it would without a doubt be online. Hanabi is the type to lock all apps other than Line, and she never gave her account to anyone but him. He's the only one who knows her twisted nature, and she won't even show the MC her second account, where she spews her twisted feelings as much as she wants. He'd like to take advantage of that, but anyway, he thinks of another app other than Line that he can use to impersonate Hanabi to get in touch with Erica. He then downloads Skype and creates a new account under Hanabi's name and follows Erica's account, which Mirai told him about. After doing this, the MC looks at his phone and waits. Suddenly, he gets a notification. The MC thinks that it hasn't even been 5 minutes yet and checks the phone. We see a message from Erica being surprised that even Hanabi uses Skype and thanks her for the follow, saying that today, Yukishiro and the others came to her house, as she laughs. Seeing this, the MC thinks that she took the bait. Chapter 17. We see the MC thinks that this was easy, and that it seems like she took the bait, and that now he just needs to continue the conversation, pretending to be Hanabi. The MC explains that he even used the same username she uses on her Line profile, and he doesn't think that Erica will notice. And he knows how Hanabi writes, and she doesn't use any emojis. And with this information, he can impersonate Hanabi without any major issues. Now we see the MC pretend to be Hanabi, and text Erica, "Thanks for the follow back, and about Yukishiro and the others, there's something I want to talk about." Erica replies immediately and asks her what it is eagerly. The MC texts her and asks that when Yukishiro came over, someone was there with her, right? To which she says that she brought a boy with her and says that it's hard to believe, right? And asks how does she know that? The MC texts her that the person with her was the MC, a childhood friend. The MC continues and texts that, coincidentally, they ran into each other after she kicked them out and he bombarded her with questions and asked for advice. Erica asks if she was near her house, to which the MC says yeah, and that Yukishiro said that she didn't bully anyone and that the situation doesn't make sense, and that she told her, could it be that you unintentionally offended her? Or I think you should apologize to her. And that Yukishiro decided to apologize in front of everyone tomorrow. Hearing this makes Erica happy and laugh and say that she can't believe this. She texts that Yukishiro has a problem because she is apologizing for something she didn't do, and questions how could she be bullied by a boring girl who reads books alone all day, and that if anyone's the bully, it's Hanabi. Erica continues and asks that even if Yukishiro apologizes, what she did is unforgivable, right? And laughs and says that she can't wait to see what happens next. The MC replies and asks Erica if she remembers what she needs to do next, to which she replies that of course she knows, and that she'll send pictures of cut wrists to the school, and then she'll show them to threaten the school committee, and they'll cancel the trip. Hearing this shocks the MC. Erica continues and says that she's having so much fun ruining the trip, and just not having to see that group show off is worth it. The MC thinks to himself that it's incredible how some people enjoy involving others out of convenience, and on top of that, she's happy about this situation, which is crazy. The MC texts her and asks if she's going to school tomorrow, to which she asks wasn't she supposed to keep skipping. The MC asks Erica, doesn't she want to see Yukishiro apologize? And that it'll surely be fun. Hearing this makes Erica happy and agree. The MC continues and tells her that when she's there, she shouldn't forget to say something like she won't forgive her and to make a scene because things will go faster that way. Erica agrees and says that she'll be there tomorrow. With this, the MC is done. The next day, we see the MC and Yukishiro in school. The MC asks Yukishiro if she has a second. We see the MC and Yukishiro on the balcony as the MC tells Yukishiro that Erica is coming to school today. Yukishiro asks him if he managed to convince her, to which he says more like trick her. He says that he thinks that everything will be resolved soon. The MC thinks that despite using controversial methods, he doesn't regret it, and that he wants to put an end to this situation soon, as he tells Yukishiro that he set it up so that Erica will be forced to tell the truth. But before that, she said some bad things about Yukishiro. The MC thinks that this could end up hurting Yukishiro. Yukishiro grabs the MC's arm and says that even if they talk badly about her, she'll be fine. And it's true that it was painful, being accused by the teacher, and being the target of rumors in the class, but the MC and Chiaki stood by her side, and that the MC believed in her, and that's already enough for her. As long as the MC doesn't hate her, she doesn't care what others think of her, which makes the MC blush. Yukishiro tells the MC that they should head back, to which the MC agrees. As they enter the class, we see that everyone is shocked as we see Erika smugly walk into the class with a grin on her face. Chapter 18. Erika enters the class smugly, as everyone is shocked. The teacher enters the class and tells everyone to take their seats. The teacher calls Yukishiro and says that she would like to give Yukishiro time to apologize to Erika and asks if she admitted to bullying Erika, which confuses Yukishiro. The teacher looks puzzled and asks if she's not going to apologize, but the MC stops the teacher and tells her to wait. The MC walks in front of the class and calls Erika and tells her that he's giving her a chance and asks her if she's sure about not admitting that she lied about being bullied, which scares and confuses her. Erika angrily asks the MC what he is talking about and that Yukishiro was about to apologize. The MC thinks that it would have been better if she admitted to lying, though, and tells her that she didn't leave him with any other option and that he will show everyone the proof that she's lying. The MC takes a few papers and hands them out to everyone. Seeing the paper scares Erika and leaves her speechless, as the paper contains all the chats from the night before. Looking at this, the entire class goes crazy and asks if this is real and that this is from Skype, and questions if the bullying was all a lie. Erika starts shaking and saying that the MC is wrong. The teacher gets flustered and asks Erika what this means and asks her to explain herself. Erika says that this is a lie and the person in the chat is not her, and that she's not the only one with that name, so the MC can't prove that it's her. The MC replies and says that he can prove that it's her, which surprises Erika. The MC shows her profile and says that she made it pretty easy by putting her picture and name on her profile, as the class finally realizes that it's actually her. Erika tells the MC that this doesn't prove anything, to which the MC asks her if she's sure about that, and what about the bullying accusation, and if she has any proof of that. The MC continues and says that whether the account is hers or not, he can investigate as much as she wants to find out if it's her. Erika goes silent and starts crying as the teacher looks scared as well. The MC calls the teacher and tells her that with this evidence, it's clear that Yukishiro is innocent. The teacher looks at the class and sees that everyone is looking at her shocked. The teacher tries to say that it's not like she blamed Yukishiro for everything and that she was just trying to clear the suspicions, but the class is still looking at her shocked, which scares the teacher, and she suddenly bows down, which surprises the class. The teacher apologizes to Yukishiro and the class and asks them to forgive her. The MC and Yukishiro look at each other as Yukishiro nods her head no, so the MC calls the teacher and asks her that he wants to confirm one thing and asks if the school trip is happening, to which she says of course, which makes everyone in the class happy and the atmosphere change. The teacher says that this time she'll do what's right and she'll let the school administration know that they're going on the trip as the class celebrates. The teacher says that she'll be going and drags Erika along with her. The MC overhears people say that they didn't expect Erika to be like that, and everyone is around Yukishiro saying that they are sorry for not trying to defend her and for not doing anything to help her. Yukishiro tells them that it's okay and that she's partly to blame, because the trip would have been cancelled because of that. Haruta tells her that it's not her fault at all and that she's the victim here, and that they weren't thinking straight when they said that their trip would be cancelled. Minaguchi and everyone apologize to Yukishiro as they cry and say that they should have listened to her side of the story. Yukishiro looks at the MC as she doesn't know what to do. The MC interrupts and says that Yukishiro understands how they all feel and that they should change the subject, and that's the best thing to do right now, to which they agree. They say that if they continue to talk about this, they'll just make Yukishiro feel worse. Yukishiro grabs the MC's sleeve and thanks him, and tells him that he's her hero as she smiles. Chapter 19. We see the MC say that the bullying was all a lie and the teacher scared. After everything was cleared up with the teacher, Erika's parents were also reprimanded for this, as we see the teacher scold Erika. We see someone call the MC. We see that it's Haruta, as he says that now everything is resolved, they should go out and celebrate today, but the MC replies that he can't today, and maybe next time. Haruta says that it's okay, and heads off with the others, as the MC thinks that it's good to see everyone so energetic. The MC thinks that in the end, Erika didn't say who she spoke with on Skype, but that doesn't matter anymore. With or without accomplice, it doesn't make her any less guilty. And she didn't seem like the type to protect her accomplice, so the MC was surprised when he found out, and questions if Erika has a soft spot for Hanabi. And Hanabi is the type who thinks before acting, and ever since they were kids, she always avoided any difficulty without breaking a sweat. The MC is sure that Hanabi expected that everything would be discovered at some point, so she would have taken some precautions. He continues and says that the teacher desperately wanted to know who the accomplice was, and that's why she came to the MC to gather information about that. But if the MC told the teacher his plan, and that Hanabi was the mastermind behind the scenes, things would get complicated, and says that he doesn't trust the teacher. And besides, the MC didn't want Hanabi to get involved this time. Hanabi is hopeless, so nothing would change, and it's not up to anyone. The change must come from herself. The MC sees Yukishiro and thinks that she's the real victim here, and asks her if they can talk for a bit. We see Yukishiro and the MC in a park. Yukishiro goes and sits on a swing and says that this feels nostalgic as she smiles at the MC. The MC asks himself if she is trying to lighten up the mood and musters courage and thinks that he'll tell her everything about Hanabi and him and that he wanted to bury his pathetic past. But he needs Yukishiro to know everything and sits on a railing next to her. The MC asks Yukishiro if she remembers a few days ago when the MC told her there was someone tormenting everyone around him, to which she says, yeah. The MC says that it's about that person that he wants to talk to her about, and asks if that is okay, which surprises Yukishiro. She says of course, but she thought that the MC didn't want to talk about it. The MC thanks her for caring, and says that this is something she needs to know. The MC continues to tell Yukishiro about everything, as he explains to us that he told her about the abusive relationship, how it was unbearable, and that he cut ties with her, and about Hanabi's distorted emotions directed towards him. The MC tells Yukishiro that he's responsible for the recent incident with Erika, and apologizes to Yukishiro, and says that he wants to make it up to her for all the harm he's caused her. But Yukishiro stops the MC and tells him that he didn't do anything wrong. Yukishiro looks like she's in pain from hearing this as she looks at the MC. She asks the MC that it must have been hard and apologizes for not realizing it sooner, even though it was right in front of her eyes. She continues and says that if she had realized earlier, the MC wouldn't have had to go through it alone, and wishes that she had supported him earlier, and apologizes again as she cries. The MC looks confused and asks her why is she crying like this, to which Yukishiro replies that it's because she feels so frustrated for not realizing how much he was suffering, and because she's always loved the MC. Chapter 20. We see Yukishiro tell the MC that she's always loved him. Hearing this makes the MC question her as he blushes. Yukishiro tells the MC that he must be surprised. After all, they've barely talked to each other, and she's suddenly telling him this. Yukishiro asks the MC if he remembers the day they first talked, which gets the MC thinking that it was 3 days after breaking up with Hanabi, and that he had just cut his hair and was ready to start over. Thinking back, it was early in the morning, and he picked up the marker that Yukishiro had dropped, and that started their first conversation. The MC remembers their conversation. Yukishiro tells the MC that she always wanted to talk to him, which makes the MC ask her why, to which she replies that the MC always watered the plants and flowers after class, and that gave the impression that he was an amazing person. The MC now asks himself if Yukishiro always wanted to talk to him because she liked him. The MC can't believe this is true because he thinks that he was a dark guy, hiding behind all that hair, and he can't believe that someone would love a person like that. Yukishiro looks at the MC and asks him if he doesn't believe her, to which he says that he's sorry and that it's just hard to believe that someone could fall in love with his past self, which makes her ask why. The MC asks her if having long hair is a reason not to like someone, and it's just that he seemed to lack his own identity, and that with his long hair, he was hard to figure out, right? Yukishiro tells the MC that what he's saying is true, and that she always wondered what he was thinking. But even without knowing, she observed him and knew that he was a kind person. Whenever she saw the MC, she thought, wow, what an amazing person. And before she knew it, she couldn't take her eyes off him, and her heart started beating faster and faster, and after they started talking, she fell even more in love with him. Yukishiro continues and says that she saw his kindness, his concern for his friends, and other qualities up close, and asks the MC if it bothers him, to which he replies that it doesn't bother him as he blushes and thinks to himself that it would never be a bother. Yukishiro tells the MC that she just wants to ask him one thing, and it's something that she's always wanted to, and grabs the MC's sleeves. The MC thinks, is she going to? And then Yukishiro tells the MC that she wants to be his girlfriend as she blushes, which surprises the MC and makes him also blush hard. The MC thinks that, in response to Yukishiro's confession, it wouldn't be like when he was with Hanabi, and he thinks that he could genuinely spend happy days with her. But now, if he were to start dating Yukishiro, it might drag both of them into a mess. Yukishiro asks the MC if it's impossible for him to see her as a romantic interest, to which he says no way, and that he really finds her very attractive. But as he mentioned earlier, there's still the issue with Hanabi, and she doesn't seem like she'll stop seeking revenge against him anytime soon, so getting involved unnecessarily might just add fuel to the fire. So he's thinking of mostly ignoring her until she gets bored and says that it's for the best. If it were just him, he could probably ignore it and get by, but if he were dating Yukishiro, Hanabi might come after her again, and for Yukishiro's sake, it's probably better if he doesn't date her. Yukishiro tells the MC that as long as he is by her side, she'll be okay, no matter what happens. The MC thinks that he's not doubting Yukishiro's words or anything, and that he just never imagined that he'd become such an influential presence to someone. As the MC is thinking this, Yukishiro asks the MC if the reason he told her right now is the only reason he's not going to date her, to which he says, yeah. Hearing this, Yukishiro hesitantly asks the MC if that's the case. Then she would like to get a chance and asks the MC if he could try dating her just to see how it goes. This surprises the MC. Yukishiro continues and says that no matter what happens, she'll be fine. And she thinks that just saying it won't be enough to make him believe her, and she wants him to see what happens if they date on a trial basis. The MC thinks that he never expected Yukishiro to say something like this, and that he initially thought he didn't want to hurt Yukishiro by dating her, but now he feels like refusing might actually be worse, and asks Yukishiro if she is really okay with a trial date, to which she happily says that she'd be happier if she were given a chance, rather than being rejected. Seeing her say this makes the MC blush and think that she's so cute. After some time, the MC tells Yukishiro that they should head back soon, to which she agrees. Yukishiro asks the MC if it's okay with him. Could he give her his SNS? The MC goes blank as Yukishiro calls him again. He apologizes to her and says that he just realized that he hasn't been in touch with anyone on SNS lately, and thinks that leaving aside Erika, who contacted him pretending to be Hanabi, he doesn't have anyone else registered on there except Hanabi anyway, who he has now blocked. Yukishiro hears the MC and says that maybe she shouldn't have asked, to which the MC replies that if anything happens, she doesn't have to hesitate to contact him as he's all flustered. They both smile at each other, and Yukishiro asks the MC, even if there's nothing going on, can she contact him if she feels like talking to him, to which he says of course, which makes her happy, and they exchange their SNS. The MC thinks that the emotions he feels just now, they feel somewhat different from before. Now we see the MC going back home, and he notices that Hanabi is there again, waiting for him. The MC ignores her and walks past her, but Hanabi suddenly asks the MC if he protected her, which makes the MC turn back and see Hanabi smiling smugly. Chapter 21. We see Hanabi tell the MC that she knows that he stuck up for her. Hearing this confuses the MC. She thanks the MC for not saying anything about her involvement in what Erika did as she blushes. She says that after feeling his love, she regrets what she did, and she realized that she went too far. The MC is shocked at what she is saying, and asks himself, what does she mean by his love? Hanabi says that things didn't go the way she thought they would, and that she wants to forgive the MC. Actually, she thought about telling Yukishiro about their past, and makes things a bit more complicated, but in the end, she knows that he loves her, and asks him if he said he would break up with her, but he just wanted to test her feelings for him, right? The MC thinks, what is she even saying? As Hanabi continues and says that she was so out of depth that she ended up picking a fight, but she'll forgive the MC. The MC thinks, when will he get a break from her? And that he can't ignore this. If he doesn't tell her over and over again, she won't get the message. Hanabi tells the MC that they should stop these stupid fights and asks the MC to give her a makeup kiss as she closes her eyes. The MC tells her that she hates his guts and that he didn't stand up for her. He chose to not get involved in her mess, so he kept quiet. Hearing this makes Hanabi confused and asks the MC, what is he saying? As she tries to grab the MC's arm, but he smacks her arm away and steps back. Hanabi finally realizes and looks at her arm as she says that the MC hates her. The MC walks away from her and returns home. The MC says, what a joke, and that there's no way he likes Hanabi and wonders where she came up with that idea. He continues and says that all the stuff that she did to him, there isn't a single bone in her body that he likes, and if she had something worth liking, he wouldn't have wanted to break up with her. He says that they're done, and he can't believe that she still thinks that he likes her. He thinks, what is up with her? Seeing her face to face and telling her as it is, there can't be much left to misunderstand, and that she shouldn't show her face to him again. The MC gets a notification and says that his body used to tense up just hearing his phone go off. But now, none of Hanabi's awful messages should reach this phone, and the only person who can send him messages, is Yukishiro, as he looks at her message thanking him for dropping her home and asking if he arrived home yet. The MC says that Yukishiro won't suddenly send him a line of abuse, and this is normal, regardless of how abnormal it seems. We see Yukishiro text the MC, thanks for opening up to her about himself today, and that she wants to become his strength. Even though she's always with him, she never realized his suffering, and if he ever has any problems, he can talk to her anytime, and she will stand by him just like he stood by her. Seeing these messages made the MC happy, as these messages were like a shining jewel to him. The MC blushes and says that he is so happy right now as he looks at her text, telling him thanks for listening to her confession, and that she actually had intended to keep it from him for a bit longer, but she said it in the heat of the moment. The MC thinks that Yukishiro sends super cute things and that just up until recently, she was some girl he had never spoken to, but now she is becoming more and more someone special to him. Before he realized it, they had sent each other tons of messages, and neither side had more to say than the other. It was a proper communication, and he had no idea that messaging could be this exciting. We see Yukishiro say that she doesn't usually send messages and that she didn't have anyone to send them to. She apologizes and tells him that she didn't mean for him to comfort her, and that she was just telling him how it is, so he doesn't have to worry about her. The MC replies and asks her maybe he shouldn't have contacted her either, which makes her flustered and say no. The MC tells her sorry and that he was just joking. She asks him if he doesn't like this sort of thing, to which he replies that up until now he didn't really like it, to which she questions. The MC tells her that it's fun talking to her. Yukishiro goes silent and sends him a blushing bunny sticker and tells him that when he says things like that, it makes her heart race, to which the MC asks her why, and that he only told her what he was thinking. Yukishiro says that she likes him, so if she receives a message from the person she loves telling her that they think it's fun to talk to her, naturally it'll make her heart race, and that the MC is giving her special treatment and making her self-conscious, and that he's a bad guy, as she sends a pouting, angry bunny sticker. The MC realizes and says that this girl loves him. Yukishiro tells the MC that she has a proposal, and asks him if he wants to go on a date on Saturday if he's not busy. The MC thinks that this is the first time in his life that he's been invited on a date and thinks about how Hanabi would drag him out to places that she wanted to go and called that a date. He knew that that wasn't a real date. Yukishiro sends another text saying that she likes him, so she wants to go on a date. Just the two of them. The MC replies and agrees to her and questions if his reply was normal. Yukishiro texts him saying that she's happy as we see the MC and her smiling at their phones. The MC thinks that he can't believe that there's such a good girl who exists in this world and that he can tell her the things that he honestly feels. The MC says that because of Hanabi, he spent his life not seeing any other girls and thinks that he's so lucky to be close to Yukishiro. The MC wonders if he has to prepare anything for the date and thinks that the guy has to think of the place and maybe it would be better if they discussed it. He thinks that instead of pretending to be cool and having it fall flat, he should just ask her and tells her that he doesn't know anything about how to date and asks her to please teach him, to which she replies and says that this is also her first date. The MC is surprised and says that he's got some big responsibility on his plate and that he has to make sure that she enjoys the date. But suddenly, Yukishiro texts him saying that she'll do her best to make sure the MC enjoys the date. Seeing this, the MC thinks that it's kind of incredible that they both thought the same thing at the same time, and after that, their conversation took off, and they spoke for about 2 hours discussing their date plans. Chapter 22. We see that it's Saturday, and the MC says that it's still 9, and that they are meeting at 11, and he still has a lot of time. He thinks that the weather is nice and that he'll head out early as he eats. He thinks that if he walks all the way to the station, he should get there right on time. The MC walks out, and as soon as he locks his house door, he feels a shiver up his spine. He thinks that this was the 3rd time and questions, what is it? After seeing nothing, he thinks that maybe he was imagining things. The MC thinks that he pushed Hanabi as hard as he could, and if she ever approached him again, it'd make her nothing but a stalker, and thinks that there's no way it's her, and that no one's around, but it feels like he's being watched as we see someone actually keeping a watch on him. The MC reaches the place and thinks that he's here 30 minutes early, and looks around. He notices Yukishiro sitting at the fountain reading a book. The MC looks at her and runs towards her while calling her name. Yukishiro looks at the MC and says that he's here early. The MC says that she's the one who's early and that he was actually a bit nervous and ended up getting here super early. Yukishiro gets up and puts her book inside. The MC looks at her and tells her that as he said it before, she is super cute. Hearing this makes her blush real hard and scream at the MC to stop being such a flirt, which makes the MC blush. The MC thinks that he just told her how he feels, so why is she angry? He thinks that if he looks a little closer, it looks like she's just blushing, and that in just a month, he feels like he's grown closer to Yukishiro, and that there's still a lot he doesn't know about her. And being together today, he hopes he can learn more about her. Yukishiro asks the MC if they should start with their date, to which the MC says yes and holds out his arm. Yukishiro looks confused at first, and then suddenly gets flustered and nervous, which makes the MC think, why is she nervous? Yukishiro grabs the MC's hand, which makes him blush and think, why did she take his hand? Yukishiro asks the MC, did she make a mistake as she's nervous, and says that she's so embarrassed that she could die. The MC looks at his hand and apologizes to her, to which she replies that it's okay and asks the MC why did he hold out his hand. The MC says that he thought he would hold her bag, which gets her confused. The MC thinks that he is an idiot and that he's gone and done it again. He thinks that Hanabi would also make him carry her things, and when he glanced around and noticed other guys carrying their girlfriends' bags, he assumed it was normal for a date, but that's wrong. The MC apologizes to Yukishiro and says that he'll try to be a bit more careful from now on, to which Yukishiro says that it's okay, and that she's sorry for jumping to conclusions. The MC and Yukishiro laugh it out as she tells the MC that when he holds his hand out like that, it's practically an invitation for her to grab it, to which he replies that she's right, and that there are plenty of guys holding hands. He continues and says that if she doesn't want to carry her bag, he's more than happy to carry it for her. Yukishiro goes silent and says that she doesn't want him to carry her bag, but she wants him to hold her hand. Hearing this makes the MC blush and agree to her. Yukishiro glances at his hand as he tries to stretch it while his heart beats harder and harder. The MC thinks that Yukishiro asked him out on a date, and the least he can do is make her happy, and stretches his hand out and asks her, shall we? Yukishiro sits down and blushes as she says that she's so happy. The MC thinks, what's with this reaction, cause it's too cute. The MC asks her again, and this time she grabs his hand as she happily says that she gets to hold the MC's hand. The MC looks at her and thinks that she is so cute when she's happy as he smiles. We see Yukishiro ask the MC if he's really okay with a library date, to which he says, yeah. We see that a few days ago, they were deciding the date spot. Yukishiro asks the MC if he wants to go anywhere, and that she wants to go anywhere he wants to go. The MC thinks and asks her, how about somewhere she usually spends her day off? And that he really wants to get to know her better, and wants to see what she normally does, and wants to know her likes and dislikes, and thinks that he really wants to get to know her as a person. Now we see them in the library as the MC asks her if they're not allowed to talk, to which she says no, and that they can talk only in the study room, and as long as they keep their voices down, they'll be okay. The MC looks at everyone reading books and asks Yukishiro if she comes to the library often, to which she says yes, and that she always comes here if she has nothing to do. And while everyone is quietly going about their business, she can feel like she is swimming in a sea of books, and that she loves this feeling. The MC says that walking in between these tall bookshelves makes him feel like a fish out in the deep sea. Yukishiro smiles and tells the MC that she likes that analogy. Hearing this makes the MC blush as he asks her what kind of books she likes. She replies and says that at the moment she's really into Western sci-fi, and asks the MC if he's ever read any before. The MC replies and says that he hasn't really read many books before, but he thinks he'll try reading some as he thinks that now that he's not Hanabi's slave anymore, he has plenty of free time. Yukishiro tells the MC that it's wonderful and that he will have a great time, and that this world is full of so many good books. The MC thinks that it's not because it's embarrassing or anything like that. It's because he genuinely thought that he wanted to try reading some books, and that he wanted to broaden his horizons. And it's thanks to Yukishiro that he was reminded once again that people can change depending on who they spend their time with. The MC thinks that he hated the person he became when he was with Hanabi, but when he's with Yukishiro, he might actually start to like himself a lot more. The MC calls Yukishiro and asks her what's her favorite book, and that he wants to try reading it. This surprises her and makes her ask, not a book that I recommend? The MC replies and says that he'd rather read a book that she likes, and asks her, wouldn't it be troublesome to search for a book she thinks that he would like? Yukishiro laughs and tells him that he's totally right. She apologizes for laughing and tells him that he gets it. She continues and says that sometimes people ask her for recommendations and she never knows what to do. But talking to the MC finally made sense. Him asking her what her favorite book was made her happy, and that he is the first person to ever ask that, and that's why she likes him. She grabs the MC's arm and takes him somewhere. She picks a book and tells the MC that she really likes this one and hands it to him. The MC starts reading the book. Yukishiro points at a page and tells him that she especially likes this part, to which he asks, "What's it about?" They both suddenly realize that they are very close to each other and start blushing. The MC says sorry and steps back, but Yukishiro goes closer to him and asks the MC if he wants to kiss her, as they both are face to face and blushing. Chapter 23. We see Yukishiro ask the MC if he wants to kiss and asks him if he's kissed Hanabi before, as they both look at each other in the eyes and blush. But then we suddenly see Hanabi's face through the window as she's banging at the window. Seeing this surprises the MC and Yukishiro. Hanabi screams and asks the MC, how does it feel to be Mr. Popular now and have girls fawning all over him? But that's all an illusion, and all his happiness can disappear at the drop of a hat. The MC asks her why are you still here, and if she can leave them alone, and that he doesn't really care what she does, but she should stop wasting her time. Hearing this makes Hanabi annoyed and angry and say that he's only saying that now, but she's going to take everything he holds dear, and then he'll be all alone so he can go have his fun. As she waves goodbye and giggles, the MC thinks what's her deal and guesses that he was right about her following him. Now we see Yukishiro and the MC ordering food and eating it, as he thinks that when he spotted Hanabi creeping at Erika's place, she was so obvious, and asks himself why was she trying to hide this time, and maybe she wanted him to find her at Erika's place. The MC thinks that if he didn't spot her then, he probably wouldn't have realized that Hanabi was following him. And before, Hanabi was the one instigating Erika to harass him. And now there's a good chance that Hanabi wants to show everyone she's still tormenting him. He looks at Yukishiro eat and smiles and thinks that it's fun to be with her, and that she makes him feel at ease. But the more he thinks about it, he feels scared, and that he can't let Yukishiro get involved in his mess with Hanabi. If he really cares about Yukishiro, maybe he needs to put some distance between them, until he sorts out Hanabi and thinks that it's almost the end of their first date. Yukishiro turns around and holds her hand out and asks the MC if he wants to hold hands. He replies sure, and holds her hand. Yukishiro asks the MC if they can go on another date, to which he says, of course. Hearing this makes her tell the MC that this makes her happy. She continues and says that she had a lot of fun spending time together, and thanks him for coming on a date with her today. She notices something about the MC, and asks him why does he look so surprised, to which he replies, and says that he thought what happened with Hanabi would have ruined her fun, as he thinks that normally, if something like that happened, the other person would have been put off, and that they probably wouldn't have wanted to see him again. Yukishiro is surprised, and suddenly recalls what the MC is talking about, and says that she was a bit surprised that Hanabi suddenly turned up, but she forgot about it. Which surprises the MC as he asks her, really? To which she replies and tells the MC that it's because she's on a date with the person she really likes, and this whole time, her heart has been pounding, and just being together with him makes her so happy, and he's all she can think about, and doesn't want anyone else. Hearing this makes the MC blush. She continues and says that it's like he said, as long as they're together, it doesn't matter what else happens, and tells him to not worry about her as she smiles. She tells the MC thanks for today, as the MC tells her that he'll walk her home, but Yukishiro tells him thank you, and that he doesn't have to worry about it, as it's still light outside, so she should be okay. They both tell each other they'll meet at school tomorrow. The MC sees Yukishiro walk away and suddenly turn around and scream at the MC that no matter what happens, she'll always love him. Hearing this makes him surprised and blush, as we see everyone look at him and blush too, and tease the MC. The next day, we see the MC in school, as he looks surprised because of everyone's hairstyle. He walks past the star of the soccer team and thinks that his hairstyle was different before, and wonders if this is some sort of new fashion. We see Chiaki run up to the MC and ask him if he's heard the news, and that all of the guys are copying his haircut, which shocks the MC as he asks what's going on. Chapter 24. The MC looks around and says that they are copying his haircut. Chiaki tells him that even the cool kids are doing it. The MC tells Chiaki that there's nothing special about his haircut, and it's so normal that it's kind of unfashionable, as he thinks that he may be overthinking it. Chiaki replies that whether it's unfashionable or not depends entirely on the person, and his kind of hair doesn't suit everyone, and to really bring it to life, they need to have the right balance of facial features, and that's why it's trending. But with other hairstyles, it's the hair itself that makes them look cool. As he gives an example, the MC gets it now and understands why it's suddenly in fashion. Chiaki continues and says, there's a lot of guys he wouldn't expect to be copying his hairstyle, and shows him Kirigaya, Kirigaya and says that even someone like him is copying his hairstyle. The MC recalls overhearing them before and says that he did hear Kirigaya say something about copying haircut before and that he just can't imagine everyone taking his haircut, and tells Chiaki that maybe it's not that they are copying him, but they are copying Kirigaya, to which Chiaki replies that there's no way and that nobody gives him the time of day, and there isn't a single guy who wants to be like Kirigaya. The MC thinks that Sports Day turned out to be a real letdown. But when the subject of Kirigaya comes up, Chiaki doesn't get as worked up as he used to, and after getting rejected by Hanabi, Kirigaya laid low for a while, and compared to how he used to be, it's almost like he's fallen off a cliff and none of the girls make a fuss about him anymore. Chiaki tells the MC that he's had a good look around, and he's the only one who can pull off that haircut. He did say that the cool guys were trying out the MC's hairstyle, but they just can't pull it off. And there aren't many guys like him who got a beautiful face. The MC replies and says that he still doesn't get why everyone is trying to copy him. Chiaki agrees with him and says that it's hard to believe. The MC tries to tell Chiaki that his theory might be right, but he stops him and tells him that he's creeping him out. The MC says okay and stops. He thinks that all of the most attractive guys are copying his hairstyle, and this can't be happening for no reason. Suddenly, Chiaki tells the MC to look somewhere. The MC looks where Chiaki pointed and sees all the guys with his haircut walk towards him, as he thinks that these are the guys who put him up for a bet at the family restaurant. Reference to Chapter 1. We see Hanabi walk up from the middle of these guys, as everyone is looking at the MC. The MC thinks, what does this mean? Suddenly, Hanabi starts crying and tells the MC that even though he said he wants to break up with her, she just can't accept it as she cries. Hearing this shocks everyone and makes them question if they both were dating. The MC looks around and thinks that Hanabi's a little different than she usually is, and that she's acting. The girls start talking that they recently thought that the MC wasn't too bad, but now they're shocked. Hanabi slyly looks up and cries more and asks the MC, why won't he say anything? As the MC thinks that nobody knows Hanabi's true nature, except him, Hanabi continues and says that she knew that he ordered her to not talk back when they were dating, but she can't just say nothing whilst he throws her away, and that they've been dating since middle school, and continues and says that the MC dumped her as soon as he started to get a bit popular, as she breaks down crying while her friends calm her down. The people around him say that they can't believe that the MC ordered her to not talk, and that he's psychologically abusing her, and question if he was physically harming her too. The others say that they can't believe this, and that it's always the ones who seem least likely to do it. As we see Hanabi smiling behind her hands while everyone is hating the MC, we see everyone say that they broke up as soon as the MC became popular. Chapter 25. We see people say that they can't believe that the MC ordered Hanabi to not talk back to him, and that he abused her and he broke up with her as soon as he became popular. The MC thinks that he wasn't the one controlling Hanabi, but in fact, she was the one controlling him, as we see her slyly smile. Chiaki steps in and tells them to wait a minute, and that this is a totally one-sided story, and that they shouldn't believe what Hanabi has to say, without at least listening to the MC's side as well. Chiaki turns to the MC and tells him that he honestly doesn't believe a word Hanabi just said, and that he never even heard that they both were dating, as we see Hanabi annoyed by Chiaki. The MC says that it's true, and that he did go out with her. Hearing this shocks everyone. Chiaki asks him about the part where he broke up with her, to which the MC replies that even that is true, but he never once abused her, and that she's the one who abused him. Hearing this, Chiaki gets shocked. Everyone questions Hanabi abusing the MC, and says that they never heard of a girl abusing a guy before. The MC thinks that in this world, everyone believes that guys are the villains, and girls are the victims. We see everyone look at the MC in shock and disgust as Hanabi grins from ear to ear behind her hands. The MC now understands what Hanabi was talking about before, reference chapter 25. The MC thinks that Hanabi is kind of famous around the school, and it wasn't long before the news spread. By lunch, all of the students started calling him a piece of shit that abuses his girlfriend. We see a girl look at the MC and get all scared and run away. The MC thinks that he wasn't even treated this badly when he had long hair. He thinks that he's sure that Hanabi is laughing, and this is exactly what she wanted to happen. All of the people who were fawning over him during sports day have all changed their tune as soon as they heard one unfounded rumor about him. He continues and thinks that it's not like he wanted to be popular anyway, and he doesn't know how to feel about people judging him just based on what they heard. Now we see everyone at Sasaragi Nature Park where their school trip is being held. The MC says that amongst all this drama, their school trip began. We see the teacher tell the class that they can draw whatever they want, as long as they don't wander off too far. The MC tells Chiaki and Yukishiro that he'll head somewhere else to check a place. We now see the MC wandering as he suddenly hears someone call him a wife beater. We see that it's Kirigaya and his friends bullying the MC by saying that they should run away, or else he will abuse them also as they laugh at him. The MC thinks that at school, he was able to tolerate people gossiping about him behind his back. But the school trip was a totally different ballgame. We see Kirigaya tell his friends not to worry, and that guys only abuse girls who think they are weaker than they are, as he taunts the MC and laughs. He screams at the MC and tells him that he's such a loser, and asks him if he's even listening, as he calls him beater boy. Kirigaya comes close to the MC and tells him that he can't believe that some piece of shit like the MC became popular, and now that he's been exposed, nobody is going to want the MC. We see everyone laugh at the MC and make fun of him, as the MC thinks that the worst thing he can do now is react, and that guys like them who spread rumors have no interest in the truth. Kirigaya gets pissed at the fact that the MC is silent and not showing any reaction, and grabs the MC's shirt and screams at him to not just stand there and to say something, as he calls him a piece of shit. Suddenly we hear someone scream and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" We see that it's Chiaki and his classmates running towards them as they look angry. We see Chiaki, Haruta, Yukishiro, Minaguchi, and his other friends surround the MC as they protect him. Seeing this, Kirigaya and his friends get shocked and scared. The MC is surprised that his friends came to protect him. We see Haruta tell Kirigaya angrily that he's a high schooler and that he should grow up, and he's just jealous because he lost the relay race. Minaguchi tells him that it's painful to even look at him, and if he has the time to bully the MC, he should use it to fix himself first. Hearing this makes Kirigaya say, "What?" in shock. Everyone pushes and corners Kirigaya. Suddenly we hear the teacher scream, "Who's making all the noise over there?" which alerts everyone, and Kirigaya and his friends take this opening and run away. We see the MC and his friends get scolded by the teacher. Now we see Minaguchi ask the MC if he's okay and says that Kirigaya is a rat. Haruta tells the MC that he's told him before once, and that he'll tell him again that he won't believe what anyone says about him, to which Minaguchi and the others add and say that anyone who knows the MC knows that he would never abuse anyone. Hearing this makes the MC surprised and happy. He tells everyone thanks as he gets emotional. He thinks that even if everyone else hates him, his friends will always be there for him. Anytime anything happened, they were always there for him, and that Hanabi will never have her way. We see the MC and everyone cheer up and talk about drawing as we see someone standing behind the tree listening to them. Chapter 26. We see the MC and his friends draw their sketches, have fun, and eat lunch together, and share with each other as they laugh. Now we see the teacher tell everyone to return to the kitchen and start making curry, and that they should be careful with the open flame. Chiaki is the leader of the group, so he tells the MC and Yukishiro to get started on the vegetables, to which they agree with excitement. The MC sees Chiaki, and the others also get excited as they say that they'll make an amazing curry. Now we see the MC and Yukishiro together as he peels the potatoes. The MC says that they first have to gather all the vegetables and start peeling them. Asks Yukishiro if it is okay to put all the vegetables in the same bowl, as they will cook all of them together anyway. Yukishiro gets surprised by hearing this and says that it's a good idea. The MC notices her reaction and asks her what's wrong, to which she replies and says that she's sorry and that she can't stop thinking about it. The MC asks about what, and if she's talking about the thing with Kirigaya. Yukishiro says yeah and calls him absolute trash. She continues and says that it's not just Kirigaya. She can't forgive anyone who says anything bad about the MC and everyone who badmouths him. She wants to get a needle and sew their mouth shut as she smiles and pouts. The MC looks at Yukishiro and smiles as he thinks that he's so lucky to have someone who would go so far for him, and that he has so many classmates that will come to help him, and Yukishiro who will always be by his side. The MC thinks that he couldn't care less about what Kirigaya has to say. He tells Yukishiro that he's sorry for laughing, and it's just that he's happy and she doesn't have to worry about him. Yukishiro looks at him and asks if those are his true feelings, to which he replies that he's not pushing himself and that his favorite people in the whole world are by his side, so he really couldn't care less about what other people say as he looks at his classmates having fun. He continues and says that they are on a school trip and he wants to make the most of it and have fun. Yukishiro agrees with him and says that she'll forget about Kirigaya and tells the MC that they should have fun. Yukishiro hesitantly calls calls the MC and says that this might be out of the blue and asks him that they have campfire after this, right? And if he could be with her for that, she would be the happiest girl in the world. The MC thinks that it's said that during the campfire, if they sit next to the person that they like, their love will come true and will be passed down for generations, and maybe that's what Yukishiro is talking about. Yukishiro asks the MC if he thinks jinxes are a bit too girly, to which he replies, that's not it, and asks her if she's sure that she really wants to sit with him. Yukishiro replies, of course I do, and that he's the person she loves the most in the whole world, as she looks at the MC and blushes. The MC blushes and gets flustered by this and says okay, says that he'll see her at the campfire. Hearing this makes Yukishiro happy and say that she's looking forward to it and thanks the MC. Chiaki tells them both to stop flirting and get back to work, which makes them both blush, and everyone laughs at them. The MC and Yukishiro also laugh. We see that the group has finished making their curry and rice, and it's ready to eat. Now we see the teacher tell everyone that once they finish washing up, all students, except student council members, should head to the bathroom to take a bath. We see Chiaki tell the MC that they're going to the bath and heads out. The MC enters his room and sees that there's a letter under his bag. We see the letter asking him to come behind the main building before the campfire starts. We see that this letter is written by Yukishiro. The MC thinks that this letter is definitely Yukishiro's and that she must have left it here when he was out somewhere. The MC questions himself, wondering what she wants to talk about as they are meeting straight after this. He thinks that it must be something serious if she wants to talk about it alone, and runs to the back of the building. When he reaches behind the building, the MC is shocked as he sees Kirigaya and his friends waiting for him there laughing. He tells the MC that he can't believe that he actually fell for it and tells his friends to tie the MC up. The guys run towards the MC as they get their ropes out, which confuses the MC. Chapter 27. Kirigaya says that he can't believe that the MC fell for this and tells his friends to tie him up. Now we see them tie up the MC's hands tightly as Kirigaya is laughing at the MC. The MC thinks, what the hell are they even thinking, and that this is crazy? He asks Kirigaya and the others what they are doing, and that if this gets out, they all will be expelled. Kirigaya screams at the MC to shut up and tells him that he had to do something like this to get his princess back. The MC gets confused, thinking, what princess? And asks him if he's saying that Hanabi is his princess. Hearing this makes him blush and embarrassed and tells the others to gag his mouth shut. The MC looks at them and thinks that they certainly came prepared, and even if he tried to struggle, they have him outnumbered, and thinks that he should just see how things go. In his pocket, he still has the knife he used for cooking, and if he has a chance, he'll use it and escape. He thinks that if they had called him out after getting into the bath, he'd be in real danger. Now, we see Kirigaya say that all they have to do is take the MC to the appointed location as he looks at his phone. They grab the MC and take him through the forest. We see everyone tired, and Kirigaya says that this is perfect, and out here, nobody can hear the MC even if he screams. He ties up the MC to a tree and says that it looks like he can't join in the campfire now. The MC thinks that Kirigaya is right, and even if he screams, there is no way that anybody would hear him. The MC asks him if Kirigaya doesn't want him to be there for the campfire, and is that why he's doing this? We hear someone say, that's right, and we see that it's Hanabi, as she tells that they did a good job capturing the MC for her as she greets the MC. The MC gets surprised seeing this. Now we see Hanabi tell Kirigaya that he did good work, and that he can go now as she shoos him away. He tries saying something, but then runs away. The MC thinks that Hanabi isn't even in their year at school, and he can't believe she managed to come on this trip. Hanabi tells the MC that now that those nuisances are out of the way, they should have a nice, long chat, just the two of them, as she blushes and looks at him. The MC thinks that Hanabi joined another grade's school trip just to cause trouble, and that she must be out of her mind. The MC tells her that he already told Kirigaya and his goons that if he reports this, they are getting suspended. Hanabi laughs at this and tells him who cares if she gets suspended, and that she knows all about the school trip jinx, and that's why she can't let him join in the campfire. Hearing this makes the MC say, what? In shock. She tells him that she knows that Yukishiro invited him to the dance, and tells him to not even think about running away, because they are going to spend some time together at the campfire. The MC asks if she went out of her way to sneak onto the school camp, just to mess with him, to which she says, of course. The MC says that he can't believe it because she did all this just for that, to which she replies, all this just for that? And that he's such a meanie, and that this is super important to her, and asks him if he realizes that all of this is his fault, and if he only cared about the rumors going around, he would have stayed at home, and none of this would have happened. We see the MC silent, as he tries to get his hands free. Hanabi continues and asks him why he doesn't take a bit of time to think about his actions, and that she'll help him remember how much of a sinner he really is. And everyone at school hates him the same as before, and asks him if he hasn't realized that she's the only person he has, as she laughs at him and says that this serves him right. But we see that the MC has his hands a little free now, as he thinks that he's managed to get this far, and just a bit more as Hanabi is still laughing. The MC manages to get his knife and free himself. Seeing the MC freeing himself, Hanabi gets surprised and asks him, how did he get out of those ropes? The MC replies and says that instead of copying Yukishiro's handwriting and getting Kirigaya and his gang to find a gag, she should have spent that time doing more research on how to tie a rope properly as she gets shocked. We see Hanabi annoyed as the MC thinks that there's no point in wasting his time here any longer, and Yukishiro is waiting for him. The MC heads back, and as he's going back, Hanabi follows him and tells him to stop, and that she refuses to let him go back to her. Hanabi keeps chasing the MC as she's out of breath and desperate. She reaches out to the MC as he's walking away, and she suddenly slips and falls down, screaming. Chapter 28. After Hanabi falls down, the MC finds her and sees that she's laying down there and asks himself, what is she playing at? And slowly makes his way down to her. When he finally reaches down to her and sees her, he sees that her leg is completely broken and twisted in the other direction as she screams and cries in pain. The MC, looking at her, thinks that on the school trip, they do attendance every night before bed, and when they do, they'll realize that he's missing. But for someone like Hanabi, who isn't supposed to be here, no one would know that she's stranded. And there's no counting on Kirigaya and his goons to help. And if he leaves Hanabi like this, nobody will come looking for her. And all jokes aside, if he leaves her here, it'd be the same as leaving her to die. The MC continues and thinks that he'll climb up the cliff and inform one of the teachers, but suddenly hears Hanabi call him, and as he looks at her, she turns away and curls up as she shivers. The MC thinks that Hanabi has an unusual fear of darkness, and she is probably afraid of being left behind. The flashlight she brought is broken, and the moon has disappeared somewhere behind the clouds, and she must be trembling in fear with no light and everything cloaked in darkness. He looks at her and thinks that up until now, he's avoided showing Hanabi any sort of kindness, but even with his attempts, she still keeps coming at him and asks himself, maybe it's time to change tactics? He continues and thinks that Hanabi's only weakness is the dark, and he's never seen her like this before, and he'll do her a favor and put her in his debt, and then he'll make her promise never to talk to him again. And he doesn't know if it will work, but there's a chance he can get rid of her, and tells himself that he should do it. He sits down next to Hanabi. Seeing this shocks her, and she asks him, what is he doing? The MC tells her that he knows that she's afraid of the dark, and there's no way that she would be able to climb up that cliff in this darkness. And there's a roll call after the campfire ends, so if he stays here with her, it will take them about 30 minutes to find them. He continues and tells her that if the pain becomes unbearable, he can call someone to help her if she'd like. Hanabi squeezes her hand and asks the MC, why is he being so nice to her? And she had thought that he would just leave her here. The MC replies and says that she does have some sort of self-awareness of her own actions. The MC tells her that she would tell him, oh senpai, you didn't leave me all alone. I guess that means you still love me, or something. He looks at her as she's in pain and sadness. He thinks that even if she acts like a sweet girl in front of others, when she's in front of him, she never shows any sign of weakness, and she is the kind of person who would rather die than show him any weakness. And that's why there's no way that she's acting right now, and asks himself, maybe her injuries hurt too much for her to think straight. The MC looks at her face and sees tears coming from her eyes, which shocks the MC. The MC suddenly thinks, is she crying? As Hanabi tries to wipe her tears, but she keeps crying uncontrollably. She tells the MC that she already knows that he doesn't like her, and that she gets it as she keeps crying. Chapter 29. We see Hanabi cry and say that she always knew that the MC didn't like her. Hearing this confuses the MC and thinks, what is she talking about? And what kind of situation is this? He continues and thinks that it is true that he wanted to try being nice to her so he could end this relationship without any hard feelings between them, but he wasn't expecting something like this. As he looks at her cry, we see Hanabi say that she didn't want to face the truth, and that he was supposed to be her one and only senpai for life. She never wanted to tell him that. She just didn't want to accept that he didn't actually like her. She continues and says that ever since he left her, he's started acting cold, and only at times like this. He's actually nice to her, and she can't put on a front when they're like this, as she continues crying. Seeing and hearing all this, the MC thinks that there's no way that he is going to believe those tears, and asks her, how long is she going to put on this act? Hearing this makes her more sad and cry harder as she tells him that she's not acting. He tells her that he's not going to listen to her drivel, to which she says that it's okay if he doesn't believe her and that she's been awful to him for a long time, and she tries to sit up. She asks him if it's okay to ask him a question, and asks him why did he say that he wanted to cut all ties with her. The MC says why, and that he doesn't see the need to explain that to her, to which she says that she won't know unless he tells her. She just couldn't accept it and kept wanting to ask him. She was angry that he suddenly pushed her away, and she couldn't hold back her feelings of wanting to get payback. The MC gets serious and tells her that if she doesn't get it, he'll tell her. He says that ever since he first met her in kindergarten, she's harassed and tortured him, and finally, after 10 years of pain, he was able to get rid of her. Hearing this confuses Hanabi, to which the MC tells her to stop playing dumb, and every time she spoke, she called him stupid, trash, worthless, and that's why he grew up with serious confidence issues. He continues and says that she had him dancing in the palm of her hand, and she wanted to treat him like a slave, and constantly hurled abuse at him, and asks her if she's forgotten all about it. Hanabi panics and tries to go towards him as she tells him that he's got it all wrong, but the pain from her leg doesn't let her go further. While seeing Hanabi in pain, the MC thinks that as a victim of abuse and domestic violence, he got stuck thinking over and over again that there must be something wrong with him, and ever since he decided to take back his life, he's doing his best to not blame himself for anything. As the MC is thinking this, Hanabi says that she never thought of him as a slave and tells him that he was her boyfriend. The MC replies and tells her to not give him that, and that he was just a slave that she called her boyfriend. Hearing this makes Hanabi freeze. He continues and says that he doesn't know what intentions she had when she called him her boyfriend, but it maybe made it easier to force him into doing what she wants. Hanabi says that's not true and asks him if it isn't obvious that she called him her boyfriend because she loves him. Hearing this leaves the MC confused. He looks at her and remembers how she was in the past and how she is now, and thinks that Hanabi has never once told him that she loves him, and he can't do it. He just can't understand the mind of an abusive woman. He tells her that he's being honest with her and that he's not buying it. All this crying, telling him that she loves him. He doesn't get it and asks her, what is she trying to achieve with these lies? Hearing him say this shocks Hanabi. She immediately tells him that she's not lying, and that she really did love him. Hearing this makes the MC angry as he screams and tells her to stop with this bullshit. Hanabi gets scared and shocked seeing him say this. He remembers what she did in the past as he asks her, what kind of loving girlfriend disrespects their partner? What kind of loving girlfriend makes fun of their partner and treats them like dirt? He remembers her texts and tells her that a loving girlfriend does their best to not hurt their partners. A loving girlfriend wishes for their partner's happiness, but the only thing she ever gave him was unhappiness and despair. He continues and tells her that out of the past 10 years that he's spent with her, not a single day brought an ounce of joy. Hearing this, she starts crying more, but the MC just turns around and ignores her tears. But suddenly, Hanabi tells him sorry, which catches him by surprise, and he turns back to look at her. She repeatedly tells him that she's sorry, and that she wants to think that there was no one else out there except for her, because she really loved him. She was scared that someone would take him away from her. She continues and says that she was the only one allowed to see how amazing he really was, and she wanted everyone to think that he was scum, so no one else would love him, and tells him sorry again as he's looking at her on the ground. The MC looks at her and thinks, what is she talking about? And how dare she disguise her abuse as love? He tells her that she doesn't love him, to which she immediately replies, that's not true and that she does love him. He tells her that she's wrong and the only person she's been thinking about is herself. She never once thought or considered his feelings and asks her, how can she say that she loves him? She tells him that he's got it all wrong and that he's the only one for her. As her tears flow down her cheeks uncontrollably, she asks him if her love was a mistake that only brought him unhappiness, and starts crying more as the MC just looks at her. Suddenly, we hear someone say, where are you? Which grabs the MC's attention. He looks up and sees that there's lights at the top. We see Hanabi still crying as the MC screams and tells the people up top that he's over here as he thinks that they finally found him. Chapter 30. 2 days after the school trip, we see the MC and Yukishiro at the park. We see Yukishiro reading a letter which is written to her by Hanabi. The MC looks at her reading the letter and explains to us about what happened after that day. Just a bit after Hanabi hunched over and started crying, his classmates managed to find them. Yukishiro found it suspicious when he didn't show up at the campfire, and she apparently went to ask Chiaki about it. After talking with him, they realized that nobody had seen the MC since dinner. Apparently, the whole class went looking for him, and they weren't even able to make it to the campfire. After finding him, everyone was happy, and they then led him back to safety. The teachers found out about everything that Hanabi, Kirigaya, and his gang did, and all of them were suspended from school. Hanabi was taken to the hospital, where they ran several tests on her. She was immediately admitted for surgery to treat the complex bone fracture in her right leg. 2 days after the school trip, he received an apology letter from Hanabi, and she even wrote a brief apology to Yukishiro too. The MC talks to Yukishiro and says that this goes beyond his understanding. Hanabi spent all this time antagonizing him, and then all of a sudden, she apologizes for it all and claims that she loves him. He continues and says that in the end, even after Hanabi threw away her pride, he has a feeling that she was still trying to set him up. Yukishiro speaks and says that the Hanabi that he knew wouldn't do something like that. She continues and asks, "Wouldn't you say that your plan to be nice to her worked?" To this, he replies that would Hanabi really have such a change of heart just because he was a little nice to her? Yukishiro replies and says that honestly, even calling it a little nice feels like an overstatement. He reached out to her when she was at her most vulnerable, and that person was someone who she once loved. She thinks that Hanabi was able to accept his words with an open heart. Hearing this, he says that he doubts that Hanabi ever loved him. To this, she says that everything that Hanabi did to him was wrong, and he has no reason to forgive her, and tells him that she has a little theory she wants him to listen to which he agrees and listens. She says that she thinks Hanabi really loved him, but her way of loving and liking was just wrong. Her feelings for him were too strong, and she got swept away by her emotions. Stronger than wanting to make him happy or make him feel special, she wanted him to be by her side, and her feelings of wanting him all to herself spiraled out of control. She continues and says that Hanabi really liked him, but she doesn't think that's an excuse for her actions. When someone falls in love, there are times when they can't hold back their feelings and emotions. Sometimes they make the wrong choice and end up upsetting both themselves and their partner. Hearing this, he says that there's no way Hanabi is a sane person with the way she falls in love, to which Yukishiro replies and says, "I wonder," and that even she gets jealous, especially when the MC talks to other girls. She sometimes thinks that she is the only person that he should talk to and apologizes. Hearing this surprises the MC, and he says that it's okay while being flustered. Yukishiro asks him if hearing about the ugly parts of love makes him want to be apart from her. He gets confused hearing this. She continues and asks him if her liking him causes him pain. The MC stays silent and thinks that he still finds it a bit hard to believe that she would get jealous over him. But even so, he doesn't feel the same disgust and fear he felt towards Hanabi. He would say it's quite the opposite. When she admits that she's a bit jealous, it kind of makes him happy. He looks at her and thinks that Hanabi and her are entirely different people, and because of the abuse he suffered from Hanabi, he refuses to give up on a future with Yukishiro. He continues and thinks that he will hold back these stupid emotions, and thinks that Yukishiro is always kind and supportive of him. Even now, she is with him and listening to his story, and because of her, he can think straight. He tells Yukishiro that honestly, he feels that it's true that she loves him with all her heart, but not once has he ever hated that. In fact, he would say that she is one of the most important people in his life. Hearing this makes her blush. She puts her hand on his as he tells her that he's happy, and if she wasn't with him, he wouldn't be able to get over his trauma with Hanabi, and he would be forever stuck, never being able to love again. Hearing this makes Yukishiro happy. He continues and thanks Yukishiro for teaching him how to love, and it's because of her that he was saved. They both sit together as the MC thinks that if there is love that can wound you, there is also love that can mend those wounds. And because he was able to learn that truth from now until his end of days, he will never hurt the person that he loves and swears it on that day. Chapter 31. 1 month has passed since the school trip. It's the beginning of July. We see Hanabi sitting on her bed, looking all sad and dull. Suddenly, we see someone standing in front of her house as they say her name. We see Hanabi with no light in her eyes and looking dead as she says the MC's name. She thinks that she has lost the person that she loves forever. She was stupid and inconsiderate. She was jealous and wanted him all to herself. She thinks about how far she pushed him and says that she hardly spared a thought for him and she only thought about herself. She says that she could only express her love in some deformed way. And in the end, she was just a piece of shit abuser, and because of that, she lost the one and only senpai. Now he has a lovely girlfriend who cares for him. She looks at her phone and thinks that he's no longer her senpai, and a world without senpai isn't a world worth living in. She says that she wants to stop existing as she laughs. She puts her head down and thinks that, to tell the honest truth, she wants to stop existing. But if she does that, she'll end up dragging the MC into all of this. She wonders if the MC will be sad if she doesn't exist. He would feel responsible for her and try to take matters into his own hands, and that's why she can't stop existing. She says that she'll never let her feelings come before the MC ever again. She says that's what she's decided. With no life in her eyes, she says that this must be her punishment. Now we see the woman from before walking up the stairs. She stands in front of Hanabi's room. She opens the door and enters it. As soon as she enters it, she asks Hanabi if she's okay. Seeing this woman surprises Hanabi. Hello everyone, just a reminder to please hit like and subscribe to help me hit 10 subs. Thanks. This woman walks into Hanabi's room with light behind her, which illuminates her room. We see that her name is Kisaragi Izumi. She tells Hanabi that she heard all about it from their mother, and she came as quickly as she could. Hanabi is surprised, and she struggles to speak, but asks Izumi, why is she here? As Hanabi is asking this, she thinks about how she heard that Izumi had started living by herself in some small town for university, and that she is super busy. Hanabi thinks that it's been about half a year since they last met. Izumi looks at Hanabi and her lifeless eyes. She looks around to see that her room is cluttered with garbage. Hanabi suddenly grabs the MC's hoodie as she gets scared of it getting thrown away. The sister looks at this, smiles, and heads into her room. She opens the curtains and lets the sunlight into the room. As Hanabi is blinded by this light, the sister asks her if they should let some air in, clean up all the mess, and have a little chat. The sister looks at Hanabi's uniform and says that she wants her to tell her everything that's been going on. She looks outside and tells her to say what's broken her heart, and then they can work together to figure out where to go from there. She smiles brightly at Hanabi and tells her that they'll work together. Hanabi looks at her and thinks that she can't hide anything from her, and that she will piece together all of her sins. Chapter 32. One day after school, nearing the summer break. We see the MC looking at his phone. Suddenly he gets a notification. We see that it's from Yukishiro. She apologizes to him for making him wait, and that she's just finished cleaning up the classroom, and she'll quickly write up tomorrow's schedule and be on the way. He replies and tells her to not worry about it, and she doesn't have to rush. She replies back and tells him thanks, but she wants to hurry up and see him with a blushing rabbit emoji. The MC explains that ever since their feelings connected, Yukishiro has been pretty honest and straightforward about her feelings towards him. As he's texting her, he thinks that he can't be the only one receiving love and that he has to give a bit himself. As the MC is thinking this and getting flustered, we suddenly hear someone say, "What do we have here? Is a good-looking guy still good-looking, even if he's smiling creepily to himself?" We see that it's Hayaiki. Hayaiki tells the MC that he and Yukishiro are like two peas in a pod. He asks her if he's waiting for Yukishiro, to which the MC replies that they both are working at a cafe starting today. We see the past, where Yukishiro asks the MC if he wants to work a part-time job with her during the summer. He explains that Yukishiro invited him about a week ago. He didn't really have any plans for the summer, so he thought, why not? Chiaki suddenly says that he has something he wanted to ask him. He asks the MC if he and Yukishiro are going out. Hearing this confuses the MC. Chiaki tells him that he and Yukishiro aren't exactly the type to just tell everyone that they're going out, so he wasn't sure if he was going to tell anyone about it, so he thought he would just straight up ask him. The MC replies and apologizes to Chiaki and asks him if it's okay with him if he gets back to him after he's checked with Yukishiro. He continues and says that he's not really sure what kind of relationship they have yet. Hearing this shocks Chiaki. He grabs the MC and screams at him, "Don't tell me you haven't even asked her out yet and are just hanging out together, and she isn't even angry with you?" Chiaki gets disappointed and says, "Honestly, man, you are really something else. You've broken the sacred law of man." Hearing this worries the MC as he asks, "You really think so?" He replies and says that he actually thought that the MC really liked Yukishiro and asks the MC if this whole thing is just one-sided from her. He continues and asks him if he doesn't even see Yukishiro as a romantic partner at all. The MC gets flustered and says that Yukishiro is an incredibly charming and attractive woman. After hearing the MC, he asks him, why aren't they dating yet if that's the case? The MC blushes and says that he never really thought about dating Yukishiro. He's happy just being by the side of the person he loves. He doesn't know how to put it, he's just happy. Hearing this makes Chiaki surprised. He gets annoyed and tells the MC that she isn't some sort of idol or anything like that. To this, The MC replies that just thinking about Yukishiro actually wanting to date him, wouldn't that be just a little too presumptuous? He gets confused and angry after hearing this. He says, "Too presumptuous? What makes you think that?" The MC hesitates and thinks about his past when he was dating Hanabi. We see Hanabi telling the MC that there's no one else in this world who would go out with him, and if he thinks about it, who would want to date someone as worthless as him? She turns around and tells him that dating him is kinda like carrying around some pet that gets in the way of everything you do, and tells him to remember what she just said. Suddenly, she gets close to him and asks him if he was thinking about getting a part-time job. She continues and asks him why would he want to work when he always manages to scrape by using his allowance. She tells him that it's obvious that he has some ulterior motives. She continues and says, "Let me guess, you want to meet girls from other schools, or even some college girls, using the part-time job to get close to them." She tells him that if he weren't thinking about something like that, then there would be no reason for him to be looking for a job, and asks him if he has some ulterior motives. She keeps yapping and says that no one else except her would even entertain the thought of speaking with him, and yet he wants to go out and talk to new people. He would cause way too much trouble for everyone else. She tells him that wanting a part-time job is just a nuisance, and he'd be better off dead, and tosses her empty drink at him like he's a trash can. She gets angry and tells him that's why you can't get a part-time job ever. Now, in the present, we see the MC think that he knows that he really shouldn't take all of Hanabi's abuse to heart. He'll just feel trapped, and he won't be able to live any sort of normal life. He understands this in his head but is still worried. He tells Chiaki that it's probably because of everything that happened with Hanabi. Hearing this makes him worried. Now, we see the MC explain that after the whole school trip commotion ended, he told Chiaki all about the abusive relationship he had with Hanabi, and he's the only person who he's opened up to, except for Yukishiro. The MC tells him that he wishes he could change his way of thinking right now, but he stops him and says that he knows, and that everything he's experienced, it's practically trauma at this point. Chiaki grabs the MC's shoulder and tells him that time heals all wounds. This makes the MC think. Chiaki continues and says that given the circumstances, he's sure that Yukishiro understands and she'll wait for him. The MC thinks that in the end, if he just prioritizes his own feelings, then that's being pretty unfair to Yukishiro. He asks Chiaki if he thinks that Yukishiro actually wants to go out with him. He reassures him and tells him that he doesn't have to be a genius to realize, and tells the MC that Yukishiro obviously likes him a lot, and if she has such strong feelings for him, then it's only natural that she'd want to date him. Hearing this makes the MC blush. Chiaki continues and says that if they start dating, there's always a chance of being dumped or cheated on, but when they compare that to not being in a relationship, when they're with someone, they get an overwhelming sense of security. He continues and says that dating in the first place shows that they are willing to take responsibility for their partner. Hearing this makes the MC think that he loves Yukishiro, and he knows that she feels the same way about him, but he hasn't even made an effort to try and make anything official, and thinks that, to Yukishiro, he must look incredibly irresponsible. Yukishiro and the MC have only ever held hands so far, but it's not really about that. He thinks that he loves Yukishiro, so if he's able to take responsibility for her in some kind of way, then he'll gladly do it, even if he's unsure that she will accept him or not. The MC finally decides and thanks Chiaki and tells him that he's come to his senses, and he's going to do it. Hearing this makes Chiaki happy as he cheers on for the MC. As Chiaki is cheering for him, the MC thinks that he can't keep thinking it's presumptuous of him, and he has to ask her to go out with him. Chapter 33. We see Chiaki tell the MC that Yukishiro really does like him, and he already knows that. So if he does truly care about Yukishiro, he should speak to her properly and ask her how she would feel being in a relationship with him. Chiaki clenches his fist and says that not being open or saying enough and making their partner anxious, that is one of the reasons why he was cheated on. With a sad look on his face, he says that he just didn't want him to do the same mistake as he did. Chiaki cheers up and pats the MC's back as he says that's enough of his sad story, and anyway, he just really wanted to see things work out with him and Yukishiro. As Chiaki is saying that, he goes silent. Seeing him silent makes the MC question him. The MC then sees that Chiaki is looking somewhere, so he looks in the same direction and sees a girl. Now we see the girl blush and twirl her hair. She turns towards them and calls out Chiaki. Seeing her leaves, Chiaki devastated. He looks at her and says, "Ayana, We see the MC look at her and think that this was the ex-girlfriend who dumped Chiaki and then moved straight on to Kirigaya. The girl glances at the MC and suddenly tells Chiaki that it's been a while and asks him, how is he? Chiaki stays silent and looks confused and sad. The girl goes on and asks him if he's angry with her because she did something really stupid. The MC looks at Chiaki clench his fist as she goes on and says that she's regretted what she did. She puts her hand on his chest and tells him that she's sorry. She gets close to him and asks him if they could try one more time, and would he give her one more chance. Hearing this confuses and surprises Chiaki. The MC also hears this and looks dumbfounded as he thinks, wow, just announcing out of the blue that she wants to get back together. The MC continues and thinks that Chiaki always says stuff like, I'm over her when it comes up in conversation, but maybe he does still have some lingering feelings for her. We see Chiaki remove her hand from him and say, what the hell is she talking about? He tells her that it's way too late for that, and she's the one who dumped him and walks away from her. She looks at Chiaki walk away and starts crying. Suddenly, she calls out the MC, which surprises him. She turns around with the tears in her eyes and asks him if he thinks that Chiaki really hates her that much. As she's crying, the MC thinks, how did she know his name? She continues and says that she never thought he would be so cold with her, and she really didn't mean to make him that angry with her as she sobs. The MC looks at her crying and thinks, she totally destroyed Chiaki's heart, but now she's saying this? He tells her that she's the one who dumped Chiaki to only start dating another guy. He thinks, as soon as she said she wanted to get back together with him, I knew that something was off. It's probably best not to get involved at all with Sakurai Ayana. The MC walks past her, but she suddenly grabs his shirt and suddenly grabs his arm. Ayana tells the MC to wait and that she doesn't want to be alone right now, with tears in her eyes. She tells him that she's really hurting and asks him if he can please stay with her for just a little while. The MC looks at her hand and thinks that even though their personalities are different, Ayana gives off the same exact vibe as Hanabi. He gets the sense that she's a terrible woman that he really shouldn't get involved with. He tells her to please let go of him. Hearing this confuses her, and she asks, but why? The MC sighs and says that he really doesn't think that she should be doing things like this. In this day and age, even if it's a woman touching a man and he doesn't want it, it's still considered sexual harassment. Hearing this shocks her. She asks him if this means that when she touches him, he's saying that it's sexual harassment, to which he replies and says, yes. Hearing him say yes shocks her. She starts screaming and says, that's impossible, and says that she's pretty and asks him, am I not? The MC calmly tells her that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and everyone is different. And he thinks that her looks are pretty average, but her looks really don't matter to him. But her actions are disgusting. He really doesn't want to be touched by her. He continues and says that immediately after she said that she wants to get back with Chiaki, she turned to another man for comfort and calls her hopeless. The MC turns away as we see that Ayana gets frustrated and starts grinding her teeth. She suddenly screams that cute girls can get away with anything, to which he calmly replies, yeah, I guess you're just not cute enough to get away with anything then. Hearing him say this absolutely destroys her. The MC walks away as she stands there speechless. Now we see the MC open the class door and suddenly is met by Yukishiro. Seeing him suddenly surprises her and makes her blush. He apologizes to her and tells her that he didn't mean to give her a fright. She tells him that it's okay and apologizes to him. She tells him that she was held up for a while doing class duties and that she must have kept him waiting for a while. He replies and says that's actually not the case, because he was waiting at the entrance with Chiaki and then he bumped into his ex-girlfriend. But it would have been pretty awkward being alone with her, so he came back to the classroom. Now we see Yukishiro say, I see, so that's what happened. The MC thinks to himself that he left out exactly how Ayana behaved towards him, because he doesn't want Yukishiro to feel uncomfortable, and it's not like Ayana actually came on him or anything. She just wanted someone to soothe her wounded pride after Chiaki rejected her, and he just happened to be there at that time. Yukishiro says that she's surprised that Chiaki flat out rejected her so quickly. The MC asks her if she also got the impression that Chiaki still had feelings for his ex, to which she replies and says yes. She says that since it was quite a messy breakup between them, she always felt that he was maybe finding it hard to move on. Hearing this makes the MC think that, although Chiaki did reject Ayana, it wasn't exactly in a composed manner, and even though he did actually turn her down, that doesn't mean that he doesn't still have lingering feelings for her. The MC tells Yukishiro that he's a little worried about Chiaki, so he'll call him later. Suddenly, they look at the time and realize that it's already 3:30. The MC asks her, "Doesn't the part-time job start at 4?" Yukishiro panics and says that he's right and apologizes to him as she's the one who invited him, yet she's the one spacing out. As they walk out of the class, the MC asks her if she finished all her class duties, to which she replies and says yes, and all she has to do is drop off the register to the staff room. The MC thinks that the cafe where they are working is only a 15-minute walk, so it's not like they'll be late, but it doesn't seem like he has the mental composure right now to tell her that he wants to date her. He looks at her and thinks that their part-time job ends at 7 p.m. If she doesn't have any plans afterwards, he'll ask her if she wants to spend some more time with him. Chapter 34, we see the MC getting ready for his part-time job as he wears his uniform. He looks around and thinks that he came to this place a few times with Hanabi, and suddenly he notices something. He sees Yukishiro wearing the uniform. Now he explains that Yukishiro and him managed to make it to their part-time job without any problems. We see that the cafe is full of people and the waiters working. The MC sees Yukishiro in her work uniform, and his heart starts beating louder. They both stare at each other as Yukishiro tells him that he looks really cool in a work apron. He blushes and tells her, "Thank you." Hearing him say thank you makes her blush and shy. As she is panicking and blushing, she says, "No way! Did I just say that out loud?" Suddenly we hear someone say, "Are you both finished changing?" We see that it's Joe, the owner of Mokajo. He tells them that he'll introduce them to their mentor. The MC explains that the cafe owner, Joe-san, is in his mid-30s and seems super easy to talk to. He says that he was a little anxious as to whether he could handle working part-time at a cafe, but any anxiety disappeared pretty quickly. We see Joe calling someone named Nanao. A girl turns around, and as she sees the MC and Yukishiro, she says, "Are the new guys here?" She greets them and says, "Nice to meet you." Joe tells the MC and Yukishiro that for now, their shifts will match up with Nanao, so they can shadow and learn from her. Nanao brightly introduces herself and tells them that she's looking forward to working with them both. Nanao becomes very happy and tells them that she's so happy that another girl has joined them, and that the gender balance in this place is super off balance. She continues and says, "Well, not so much off balance. I'm the only girl who works here, actually." She tells them that it's not as if there's any heavy lifting or anything, so she doesn't really get it, and asks the boss to confirm. He gets surprised and replies to her that she's right. The MC looks at Joe. Joe awkwardly laughs and says, "Well, we do get applications from girls sometimes, but for some reason they always quit really quickly." He tells Yukishiro to tell him if there's anything that makes her feel uncomfortable, and that he'll fix it straight away. The MC gets concerned and asks Joe if it's only the girls who quit really quickly. He immediately tells them that it's not like the guys never quit either. Most of their part-time staff are students, so they tend to not stick around for very long anyway. Joe apologizes to them and says that he never meant to say something that might make Yukishiro anxious on her first day. He continues and tells them that as far as he can tell, now, all of the part-timers they have seem to be getting along and working really well together. Hearing him say now makes the MC suspicious. Nanao tells them that there's no bullying or harassment at all here, and no sexual harassment from any pervy guys either, as she tries to reassure them. Hearing Nanao say this makes Yukishiro smile. The MC thinks if the female part-timers aren't sticking around for very long, then it's probably for a reason that the owner and Nanao just aren't aware of. He looks at Yukishiro and thinks that it doesn't seem to be bothering Yukishiro though, so if he made a fuss and mentioned it just now, she would probably end up worrying about it. He thinks that Yukishiro really wanted to work at this cafe, so he won't say anything now. As they are looking at the kitchen, he thinks that he's thankful that the owner has put him and Yukishiro on the same shift. He wonders if he might just be worrying over nothing, but he would rather that than regret it if something were to happen. He says that he'll just have to watch over Yukishiro as much as he can and deal with anything that comes up. Chapter 35. We see Nanao telling the MC and Yukishiro that the new staff are in charge of the dining area, as well as making soft drinks. She tells them that she'll start by teaching them how to make drinks. Hearing this makes Yukishiro excited and nervous. As Nanao places ice into a glass, she tells them that there's nothing difficult about it. She pours in the drink and says, "Just follow the manual and you'll do fine." We see them both holding a glass, as Nanao tells them, "Quick and accurate, you're both doing great." She nods in agreement and says, "Seems like we've got some real talent joining us." She tells them that she bets that they think that she's trying to butter them up, but that's not the case. She says that people think, oh, it's just a drink, right? But surprisingly, this part can show pretty clearly if someone's cut out for working in a cafe or not. She continues and says that some people are quick, but sloppy and careless with the syrups, while others are overly cautious and take ages to make a drink. On really busy days, they have to be mindful of the customer's feelings. In other words, fast and careful. So anyone who's careless and laid back, this isn't the job for them. She smiles and tells them that they are super skilled and considerate, and she thinks that they both will do really well here, as they are definitely suited to cafe work. Hearing this makes Yukishiro say, "Thank you." She laughs and tells Yukishiro that there's no need to be so formal with her. She asks them if they are in second year of high school and that they all are the same age. She just happens to know the job pretty well. That's why she's showing them the ropes. She winks at them and says that it would be better if they thought of her as just a regular colleague. She asks them if she can call them Fumi and Suma and that they can call her Tsubasa, too. The MC thinks that he doesn't mind being called by first name, but calling someone else by theirs is a little weird. Even with Yukishiro, he's been using honorific with her since middle school. He suddenly thinks that Hanabi was the only girl he ever called by her first name. Nanao suddenly tells them that they should move on to the dining hall work now. As Yukishiro and Nanao are talking, the MC thinks that before they could even answer her question about names, she flew into another topic. He thinks that Nanao seems like the go-at-her-own-pace type. The MC observes them talking to each other about the work. After showing them everything, Nanao tells them that she thinks it's time for them to start serving some customers. We see Nanao telling Yukishiro to take a dish to table 3, and the MC to take an order from the person who's just arrived. Yukishiro serves the dish and sees the customers happy. Seeing them happy makes her happy. Now we see the staff say, "Thanks for your hard work," as their shift ends. As Yukishiro go out of the cafe, Nanao sees them and tells them great job today, and that she's done for the day too, so they should head home. As the three of them walk together, the MC sees the girls talking and thinks that it looks like confessing to Yukishiro isn't happening today either. Nanao asks Yukishiro, "Working at our cafe isn't all bad, right?" She says that she was saying some weird stuff before her shift started, so she was worried they both might just want to quit. Yukishiro slowly speaks up and tells her that it seems really easy to work there because Nanao and everyone else seem very kind. Nanao cheerfully says, "Geez, will you just call me Tsubasa already?" Enough with the polite speech. Come on, give it a try. Hearing her say this, and get so close, surprises Yukishiro. Yukishiro slowly says, "Tsubasa-chan." Nanao replies and tells her that she's not the type to be called Chan, but B+ for effort. Yukishiro blushes. Nanao sees this and tells her that her face has gone beet red, and they both laugh together as they both are talking in the train. The MC thinks that it's amazing how easily Nanao talks to people she just met. He gets that. As their part-time job's mentor, she's trying to get close to us. However, if that were him, he wouldn't be able to do it. Nanao asks if Yukishiro is getting off first as she's at her stop. As Yukishiro is going out, Nanao tells her that she did good today and they'll see each other in the next shift. The MC also tells her that she did great and asks her to text him when she gets home. Yukishiro waves by at him as she goes. Nanao now asks the MC where is he getting off. He replies and says, at Asahi Town. She tells him that they still have 15 minutes until his stop, so they should grab a seat, as she looks at an empty seat. She gently pulls his arm and says, "Come on, let's go." Her suddenly grabbing his hand surprises the MC. She sits down and tells the MC to sit next to her. As he sits down, he thinks, maybe it's just my imagination, and looks at her as she looks at him. A sense of discomfort faintly stirs within our MC. Chapter 36. Now we see Nanao tell the MC that she nearly died, and she can't believe that she gave him the wrong table number to take that food to. She rubs her arm on his arm and says that she's glad that he caught her mistake before going to the table. The MC looks at her and then tells her that it's no big deal. He only happened to notice because it was him who took their order in the first place. If anyone else had taken their order, he probably would have been none the wiser. As the MC is saying this, she moves closer to him. She smiles and says, "There you go again, being all modest and stuff. The fact that you managed to pick something like that on your very first day is amazing. You're going to be a huge help, I can already tell." She moves in closer to him as she says this. The MC looks at her again as she laughs and thinks that she really doesn't seem shy around people, so maybe Nanao is just the type who gets really friendly with people pretty quickly. She puts her hand on his shoulder. This makes the MC go silent. He thinks that if she really were the type to subconsciously get touchy-feely with people like that, then surely she would have been with Yukishiro too, right? He thinks that he was watching Nanao and Yukishiro all day and nothing like that ever happened. And actually, up until they were alone on the train, Nanao hadn't even touched him once. The MC stays silent as he thinks about all this. Suddenly, Nanao calls the MC, which startles him. She asks him what's up, and that he looks like he's spacing out. The MC continues to think that every time Nanao touches his arm or leg or presses herself up against him, he knows what it is. That feeling he's been getting in the back of his mind. He's really uncomfortable from her behavior. He thinks that Ayana and Nanao, it's almost as if like they think that there's no way any man would hate being touched by them. They're both the type who are totally convinced of it. The MC speaks and apologizes to Nanao and tells her that he really doesn't like being touched all the time and asks her to move her hand off him. Nanao bursts laughing and tells him that she's sorry and it's a habit as she's always like this. She continues and says that it's maybe because of her blunt, straightforward personality, but she tends to get on better with guys over girls. She acts the same way with guys and girls, so her sense of personal space is little messed up. She tells him, "It's not like I'm doing it on purpose or anything though. That means you can just treat me like one of the guys then, right?" She grabs the MC's shoulder again. The MC side-eyes her and thinks that she has literally no idea what he's trying to get at. He immediately corrects himself and thinks that's not quite right. Nanao simply spun things around to work in her favor. The next day, we see the MC walking to school. As he's walking, he thinks that today's the day. He wants to tell Yukishiro that he wants to go out with her. They have work after school, but they should manage to get some time to talk alone for a while. As he's thinking this, he notices something and gets confused. We see that it's Chiaki and his ex who is wrapped around his arm. Chiaki notices the MC and looks sad and worried. Chiaki greets the MC awkwardly and goes off to class. The MC is dumbfounded by this and looks at Ayana as she's still wrapped around Chiaki's arm. She smiles at the MC. Seeing all this early in the morning confuses the MC and wonders why is their relationship completely different from yesterday. Chapter 37. We see Ayana looking at the MC as she tightly squeezes Chiaki's arm. Chiaki looks worried as she does this. The MC looks at them and gets confused. He thinks that yesterday he rejected Ayana spectacularly, but now she's hanging on to him like this. That means that they're back together. In the class, the MC wonders if Chiaki is okay. He worries about Chiaki because he thinks that Ayana didn't really leave a good impression on him and can't help worry about Chiaki. He thinks that romance is a very private thing and that other people shouldn't interfere. He remembers his previous relationship with Hanabi and thinks that after being in such an isolated relationship with her, they ended up in a really horrible and toxic situation. The MC doesn't know if he should step back and just keeping an eye on her is the right thing to do or not. He thinks that he tried to call Chiaki last night, but he didn't answer and wonders if he was just busy. The MC looks at Chiaki and sees that he's a bit tensed. He thinks that he should at least try talking to him. As the bell rings, the class gets over. The MC looks at Chiaki's seat to go talk to him, but sees that he's not there. The MC goes and asks Minaguchi about where Chiaki is. She tells him that he took off as soon as class ended. She laughs and says that he's a typical track guy seeing how fast he ran. The MC looks disappointed as he couldn't talk to Chiaki, and the break is already over. After the next class is done, we see Chiaki bolt out before the MC could even go near him. After the lunch break is done, the regular classes start. As the class is going on, the MC looks at Chiaki and wonders if there's something so urgent which he needs to do, or is he just avoiding him? He thinks that he'll only find out his true intentions only if he asks him. The only time to catch him will be after classes end today, and it will need to be before he goes off to track club. As soon as the bell rings and class ends, Chiaki immediately gets up and bolts with his bag. The MC tells him to wait, but he doesn't stop. The MC chases him, and he tells him that they need to talk. But Chiaki suddenly starts screaming and running faster. Seeing him do this makes the MC's suspicion turn into certainty. As he's chasing him, he thinks that there's no point in chasing him, and suddenly overtakes him and stands in front of him. He sees that Chiaki is all out of breath. Chiaki keeps huffing and tells him that he's a speed monster as always. The MC looks at him and asks him if he ran out of energy due to his lack of sleep. Chiaki averts his gaze from MC's. The MC asks him if Ayana is the reason for his lack of sleep and if both of them decided to get back together. Chiaki tells him that he didn't want the MC to get involved into this. Hearing this confuses the MC. Chiaki looks sad as he says that he knows that Ayana is the worst kind of woman, but still, he stops and says, "You must think I'm pretty stupid, right?" The MC tries to reassure him that he wasn't thinking anything of that sorts, but Chiaki doesn't hear him out and starts crying as he says that he gets it, and he knows that more than anyone else. Chiaki says that Ayana already dumped him and was with another guy and asks the MC, "You're probably wondering if I've got any pride?" He continues and says that he absolutely has no pride at all, and runs away as he cries, and says that he's just a pathetic guy who doesn't want to let go. Seeing Chiaki like this confuses the MC. Chapter 38, we see Chiaki run down the stairs as he can't face the MC. The MC tries to call him, but sees that he's already gone. He stands there in disbelief, as he thinks that this wasn't exactly a conversation. Chiaki's not really giving him much information to go on. He thinks that his reaction and what he said pretty much confirms that Chiaki is back together with Anyana. He thinks that Chiaki is obviously ashamed of the choice he's made, and Chiaki thinks that the MC will be critical of his decision. The MC looks concerned and a little sad as he says that he just thought that he could have been there for Chiaki to talk to. He thinks about the time he had fun with Chiaki and Yukishiro, and thinks that they both are the first real friends he's ever had. He really wants to help, even just a little. But going by the way Chiaki is acting, it looks like he just wants to be left alone right now. He continues to think that he'll give Chiaki some time, and hopefully Chiaki will realize that he's not criticizing him or anything. While he's thinking this, he gets a notification. He looks at it and sees that it's Yukishiro telling him that it's nearly time for their shift, and asks him where is he. He looks at the text and thinks that he'd better meet up with Yukishiro soon and head to work. He looks at the time and sees that it's 3:30 p.m. and thinks that there's 30 minutes until his shift starts. As he's walking, he thinks that the same thing happened again today, and he still hasn't managed to confess to Yukishiro yet. As we see that the MC and Yukishiro are outside, making their way to the cafe, Yukishiro is talking about how Tsubasa said that she had so much fun yesterday and that she wants to go home every time their shift overlaps. Yukishiro says all this while being happy about it. Yukishiro suddenly looks at the MC and calls his name. He gets startled and tells her that he's okay. Seeing him get startled confuses Yukishiro. She continues and says that Tsubasa was messaging her after she got home, and they kept messaging until the early hours of the morning. She continues and says that she's not the type to come up with any or interesting replies though, but apparently Tsubasa seems to think that they've clicked somehow. She looks at the MC and tells him that she's never told him this before, but she had to transfer schools quite a few times because of family reasons, and because she was quite shy, she never made any friends until now. The MC looks at her as she speaks. She holds her hands and squeezes them as she says that she was really hoping that Tsubasa and her would become good friends. The MC looks at Yukishiro as she seems nervous about making friends. She also looks back at him. They both look at each other. Seeing the MC face to face makes Yukishiro blush and turn away. He looks at her blushing and thinks that he really wants Yukishiro to become his girlfriend. As it looks like he's about to say something to her, suddenly we see Tsubasa waving and greeting them both. They both get surprised hearing her. As they three walk towards the cafe, the MC thinks that this might be the first time Yukishiro's ever had a female friend. Even as they are working, he sees Yukishiro and Tsubasa interacting with each other and think that Yukishiro is absolutely adorable, full of excitement and hope like this. Now, as they are done with their work and going home, he thinks that he wants to somehow make that hope of hers become a reality. As we see Yukishiro getting off at her stop, Tsubasa and the MC wave her by. The second Yukishiro leaves and the doors to the train closes, we see Tsubasa's arm touching the MC's. He looks clearly uncomfortable. He tells her that he mentioned it before, that he's not comfortable being touched, and has asked her to stop before. She laughs at it and tells him to just not think of her as a girl then, while she smiles. The MC recalls the last time and thinks that because of what happened yesterday, he thought that standing would be better than sitting, but that didn't make one bit of difference. As he's thinking this, we see Tsubasa clinging onto the MC's arm and telling him that she can't reach the handrail from where she's standing, so she'll just hang on to him instead. She squeezes his arm onto her chest. The MC gets more uncomfortable and moves away as he tells her that they can swap places so she can be closer to the handrail, and she can grab that instead. She suddenly gets close to the MC's face and asks him why is he trying to keep his distance from her. She asks if Yukishiro said something to him. She continues and tells him that she was talking to Yukishiro yesterday, and apparently him and Yukishiro aren't even dating. Hearing this surprises the MC as he stands there, thinking what to say. Chapter 39. We continue with the MC and Tsubasa in the train. She tells him that Yukishiro told her that he and she aren't dating actually. She continues and says that she was just wondering what's with Yukishiro being all possessive, and if it was her, she'd find it pretty annoying. She says that she knows that most girls are just like that though, but she's really not the type to get all jealous. So stuff like that doesn't bother her. She tries to act cool and say that people are always telling her that she's basically one of the guys anyway. She tries harder to be a pick-me and says that she's quite boyish, so she doesn't really care. She continues to be a pick-me and tells him that she totally understands how annoying it is for guys when girls get all jealous over them, and says that she feels pretty bad for the MC. While she's saying this, the MC looks at her like, what's this be on about right now? She gets close to him and asks him that if he really thinks about it, wouldn't she be so much easier to hang out with rather than Yukishiro? The MC looks uncomfortable and asks her what is she trying to say. She smiles as she looks at him. She suddenly laughs and tells him to hold up and not to get her wrong, as she's not trying to badmouth Yukishiro or anything. She continues and tells him that sometimes she just blurts out what's on her mind and it's unfiltered. She tells him to not take it the wrong way, and she didn't mean anything by it. She continues yapping and tells him that he's being manipulated by Yukishiro's jealousy even now, and she just thinks that it must be rough on him. As she is yapping, the train stops at a station. As the train stops, Tsubasa and the MC lose their balance because of inertia. Tsubasa clings on to the MC for support instead of grabbing literally anything else. As she's holding him, she tells him that it was a close one, and if he hadn't been there, she would have been a goner. She grabs onto the MC tighter and looks at him. He looks at her and gets creeped out and thinks that he really can't deal with this anymore. He gets his arm out of her hold and tells her that she might be a little confused, so he'll clear something up for her. He tells her that Yukishiro hasn't said a single word to him about Tsubasa and him. But even if Yukishiro were to get jealous over him, he would actually find that pretty sweet of her. As he says this, he walks out the train. She gets confused and shocked by his reactions. She asks him, isn't he getting off at the wrong station, as she panics. She tries to chase after him, but the door closes. He looks at her from the other side. As the train goes with the pick-me inside, he breathes a sigh of relief. He feels bad that Yukishiro wants to be friends with someone like Tsubasa out of all the people. He thinks that if this was just his problem, it would have been really easy to just cut ties with Tsubasa, but she's now dragged Yukishiro into this. Just because he can't get along with Tsubasa doesn't mean that he should force that on Yukishiro too. He's really not comfortable at all with Tsubasa's personality, but ultimately, that's just something that Yukishiro has to figure out on her own. Now, he thinks about his past. He remembers that Hanabi always stuck her nose in and meddled with his relationships. We see the young MC playing as suddenly he hears Hanabi telling him that he's just not allowed to talk to Rei-chan. Now, she looks angry at him as she tells him that he can't be friends with Iori-chan. The young MC timidly agrees with her. As he recalls all this, he thinks that being told things like that was an everyday occurrence for him. So, in the end, he never managed to make a single friend until he cut all ties with Hanabi. Allowing Hanabi to control his relationships and cut so many people out of his life for so long, he regrets it all so much. Which is exactly why, when it comes to Yukishiro and Tsubasa hanging around together, he really has no say in the matter. He stands there at the station as he thinks that for now, he'll just make up some excuse so he doesn't have to go home with her. The problem should just solve itself if he cuts all ties with Tsubasa outside of work. The next day, we see the students cheerfully greet each other. We see the MC greet Yukishiro as she sits down. Yukishiro hesitantly greets him back. He looks at her and gets concerned. He whispers to her and asks her what's wrong. Hearing him whisper to her makes her jump a little by surprise. She doesn't respond to him, so he gets more worried. He looks at her and wonders, why does she look so scared? He musters up his courage and calls her name as he wants to tell her something, but suddenly someone screams in the class. Now we see that someone has fallen on the ground. As the MC gets up and sees who it is, we see that it's Chiaki. Chapter 40. We continue as we see Chiaki fallen on the floor and frothing from his mouth as everyone is worried about him. He suddenly regains conscious and wakes up as he gasps. We see Aihara asking Chiaki if he's okay, as Chiaki is getting up. Minaguchi also stands there as she looks worried about him. Chiaki holds his head and tells them that he's fine, and just a bit sleep-deprived, that's all. Suddenly, someone screams and says, "No chance!" We see that it's their teacher looking scared and worried as she drags Chiaki and tells him that she needs to take him to the hospital and that he can't stay in school like this. As she's dragging him, we see him trying to get out of her hold and go away. As she takes him away, we see everyone in the class worry. Now the next class starts. As the class is going on, we see the MC think about Chiaki and Ayana. He thinks that ever since Chiaki got together with Ayana, He's been looking pale and spaced out all the time. The MC never thought that Chiaki would be in such a bad shape to just pass out like that. Suddenly he looks at Yukishiro. He keeps looking at her and says nothing. As soon as the bell rings and the period ends, he calls out to Yukishiro. He wants to continue about what they were talking about in the morning and asks her what was wrong with her and if something happened. She panics and tells him that nothing happened. She continues and tells him that she's sorry and that it was nothing, so he doesn't need to worry about it. She hesitantly tells him that she thinks that she had a nightmare and just got all caught up in her emotions, that's all. Hearing this worries the MC a little, as she's panicking. They both keep staring at each other. The MC notices that she's tensed and worried about something. He looks at her tensed and thinks that maybe he shouldn't keep pushing her right now. She speaks and says that she hopes that Chiaki is okay and that she's kind of worried about him. The MC looks at her worried and thinks that he knows that she's worried about Chiaki right now, but he has a feeling that she's just trying to hide the reason why she was being off with him back then. He thinks that she's also avoiding him like how Chiaki has been avoiding him, and that Yukishiro seems so distant right now. He thinks that leaving things alone is what led to the commotions this morning, and that this is really awkward. When the other person clearly just wants to be left alone, what is he supposed to do? As he keeps his books, he thinks that he's not got enough experience in these sorts of situations to know what to do. He remembers spending time with Chiaki and Yukishiro and thinks that the worst part is that the people he would normally talk to and get advice from at a time like this are Chiaki and Yukishiro. He thinks that there's no way he can tell Yukishiro that he wants to date her with how things are right now. Now we see that the lunch break has started, and all the students are going to have lunch. As we see the other students talking about what they want to eat today, we see the MC sitting alone and sighing as he worries. He thinks that he doesn't know what to do, and no matter how much he sits here thinking about it, he just ends up going around in circles. He gets more stressed as he thinks that all of this is because he's spent his entire life only ever interacting with Hanabi and calls himself pathetic. As he has his head in his arms and worrying about what to do, some girls look at him and say, "What's wrong with him?" He hears them and feels more bad and awkward. Suddenly he hears someone call out to him and he turns back to see who it is. We see that it's Aihara and Minaguchi waving at him with big cheerful smiles on their faces. They come towards him and stand behind him, leaning on the bench he's sitting on. Aihara asks him what's wrong and why is he sitting out here all alone. He looks at them and thinks that both of them have started coming over to talk to him a lot more now, since they realize that he doesn't really socialize with anyone else. Besides Chiaki and Yukishiro, they're the classmates he talks to the most. Aihara asks him if he has lunch already and if he managed to get something yet. The MC tells him that he didn't have anything yet. Suddenly, with a big smile on her face, Minaguchi surprises him with a bunch of sandwiches in her hand and tells him that they figured that he didn't have anything yet, so they bought one of every sandwich from the cafeteria and asks him to pick whichever one he likes. They both sit next to the MC as they excuse themselves. With sparkles in her eyes, she tells the MC to eat up. He thanks her and starts eating the sandwich. As the MC is eating, Aihara tells him to just listen to them while he's doing this. Suddenly, he asks the MC if there's something that's worrying him. Hearing this suddenly surprises the MC. Aihara continues and asks him if it's something to do with Chiaki, and he's seen that recently they both haven't seemed the same together. He continues and tells him that maybe there's something that they can do to help, and tells him that he can talk to them anytime. Minaguchi also nods and agrees with Aihara. The MC hesitates at first, as he thinks that he does usually talk to both of them quite a bit, and wonders if it's really okay to ask for their opinion. He thinks a bit more and wonders how did these both even know that he was sitting here by himself and worrying about something. Aihara suddenly speaks and tells the MC that he heard Chiaki saying that he collapsed today because of lack of sleep, and asks the MC if him and Chiaki fought or something. As the MC hesitantly replies, Minaguchi suddenly notices something. She suddenly jumps and apologizes to the MC and tells him that they're not trying to force him to talk. It's just that Egawa, Aihara, and herself are all just really worried about him. Hearing this confuses him. He remembers Egawa and wonders, why is her name being mentioned right now? He asks Minaguchi, why is she bringing Agawa's name out of the blue? She apologizes and tells him that it was actually Agawa who came and told them that he's sitting here by himself as he looked troubled. Minaguchi continues and says that Agawa looked worried as she said, "Something seems to be really bothering Ichinose-kun. Would you mind checking on him?" And this is how this chapter ends. Hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you,